a couple things up here and there, but I think that just comes with experience. What I'm encouraged by is I see a quarterback who looks comfortable reading the field. And today he had more time. That certainly helped, and it just all looked better.
That first completion to Mooney, you're like, oh, man, maybe he's going to be a bit off. I mean, Darnell Mooney was wide open. If he hits him in stride, you're potentially talking about a long touchdown play for the Bears, but he had to go up and he dove for it. It was an exciting catch, and all the credit goes to him on that one. Justin Fields said as much. But then you see the deep bomb down the seam to Darnell Mooney off the double move. You see the other one, the other two down the right sideline.
One to Robinson.
The one to Robinson and the one to Mooney. I mean, our guy Greg Braggs has great video, end zone video of the dime pass to Mooney. I put it on my Twitter too. Check it out. I mean, that is an exciting pass, to say the least. Like I'm putting this mildly because we haven't seen these types of throws in some time here for the Bears. I mean, that was a special throw from Justin Fields.
How about that for a QB1? Let's go.
The Bears, they started this new tradition last year where they celebrate their wins the correct way.
Waddle and Sylvie, ESPN 1000, don't miss it.
I know what you mean.
It's like their own Philly.
Okay. Okay, I think what it is.
We shouldn't be showing this. Am I crazy?
What a great sign that is. What have I told you? 17 minutes of rain would wash away 108 years of traffic.
Do you see this team growing into the team that you were in 2005?
Great practice, everybody.
are ridiculous.
There it is. Drumline and all on the Waldron deck. Nothing better than that. We are back and better than ever. This is Braggs in the Stands. I am your host, Gregory Braggs Jr., and this is my good friend and co-host, my guy, Trae Tunes. How we doing today, Trae? You're muted. Oh, wait. I think I got you muted.
Oh.
Now you're unmuted.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Can I talk now? Can I talk now?
You can talk now.
All right. I'll say, hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
we only mute Will on this show.
Right, yeah, that's it. You got the picture of Will, right?
Of course I have.
Well, I know Will's been busy. I don't know if he'll be in tonight, but what about the new one? The one I
forgot to put it in there again. Oh my God. I forgot to put it in there again. With all the prepping I did, I forgot to put it in.
¿Por qué?
Well, yeah, we got some questions in the chat already. JDS wants to know, do we have a tight schedule today? Surprised we didn't start after Black and Abdallah. Well, with all due respect to Black and Abdallah, the Bulls are starting tonight here in a little bit, and Trey's got a karaoke gig here in a couple hours, so we wanted to get started early, make sure we can get through the post-game show that I normally do after the games on Sunday, but was completely wiped out from the weekend of building mailboxes and running around grabbing some great Bears coverage. And then Monday night, I was going to do it last night. Yeah. Then with the Facebook outage, I decided to hold off because, part of our viewing platform is from Facebook. So I didn't want people to miss out on the coverage that we brought here this weekend at Soldier Field. So, let's get right into it without further ado. I am a Bulls. Yeah, I am a Bulls fan, factor one. So, the game's going to be coming on, I believe, at 7:00. And so, we're going to try to get through this. And we're going, Chubbs, I'm not trying to piss you off because I actually scheduled the show like you've been begging me to do for weeks now. I didn't just put it up without an actual start time or anything. I scheduled the show, even got a nice little picture to go along with it, and you're still in here complaining. And yes, Van Helsing, Trey's shirt is making all of us thirsty. And maybe one day there'll be a sponsor of this show, Jack Daniels, the drink of choice and the shirt of choice on Braggs in the Stands. So, no, I am not supposed to be a Pacer fan, Chubbs. It's all Chicago all day at Braggs in the Stands, with the exception of the Purdue Boilermaker basketball team, but we will get into basketball down the road on this show. We'll get C-Red Fred. We'll get Bulls people. We'll get Purdue. We'll do the whole thing, college and pro. I cover it all here on this show. But for today, this is a Chicago Bears post-game show, 2 days late. So more of a recap of what we saw over the weekend and some fun stuff to go along with it. So, Trae, what do you say we get right into it without further ado?
All right, let's go.
Let's get it. And that's what this show's all about. You know, we're going to react to some of the sights and sounds that what we do here at Brags in the Stands, you know, brought to you this Sunday on the Lakefront. So first up, right out the gate, you know, we saw the drum line. We saw Hogan Johns giving the shout out of all the different shots that we bring you here on this show. So this was the first, you know, monumental moment. I call it the Tunnel of Love. This was Justin Fields coming out the tunnel in his Bears uniform for the first time as the starter of the Chicago Bears.
Let's go 3-2! Go, baby! Let's go, baby! I see you 3-2! Justin! Let's go, baby! Let's ball out! Yo, hey, Rob! Hey, Rob! They need to pay you! Let's go! Let's go, boys! Let's kick some ass! Go, baby! Let's go, boys! Let's go! Hey, Rob, let's go! Hey, Rob, you're coming, man! Let's go!
There he goes, out the tunnel. Pretty cool moment. You know, if it was my only complaint of this game, I mean, obviously you can complain about a litany of things when Matt Nagy's your head coach, but my one complaint was pregame ceremonies. The first two home games, they've come out as a team. So, you know, this was for the pregame warm-ups when they come out and they do their initial huddle up. And then then they go back into the tunnel and then they come back out. And normally they'll do like half the team will run out together. And then they'll introduce the offense or the defense individually, like one player at a time, linebacker, Khalil Mack, or whatever. And I just thought it was such a missed opportunity for the Bears to not have the offense introduced individually and have the final, you know, guy be and starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, and comes running out the tunnel in his first ever start. I mean, to me, this is the future of your franchise. I don't understand their hesitancy to prop him up. I don't know if they're scared of their own shadow because of the ghost of Mitch Mispast, but, you know, it's like, you know, that's what it has to be. They don't hype this guy up enough, and it's almost like they don't want to jinx it. And it's like, come on, guys.
That's the first time I heard that. That was awesome.
You like that? I just that was right off the top of my head there. That just came to my head.
That's impressive.
Well, I was just gonna say the ghost of Mitch, but then I just thought the ghost of Mitch
Mispass. That's brilliant. We'll
have to make a holiday parody song for the Waddle and Sylvie show.
Wow, that's
something pertaining to that.
That's so good. The ghost of Mitch Mispass. That's so good. That's you got a clip.
I think Nagy's been spooked ever since the ghost of Mitch Mispass. You know, that's I think part of his problem now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, the Bears, it seemed like organization, you know, wise, they seem like to get a lot of things wrong. Unfortunately, like whether it's, you know, doing something simple like this, like whether it's a miscues on social media with the QB1 and
right,
and you know everything else that's so obvious. It's like you want to love this team so much, and it's like you're so invested in them emotionally, and it's like you just want them to get right, you know, like get it together, you know, on the little things.
Yeah, I agree. Van Helsing in the chat believes the Bears would be valued over $5 billion if they just had cheerleaders. post that on your poster thing. I don't know if he meant pull it up in the comments. Happy to pull up comments. The only time I don't pull up comments is when Chubbs is saying crazy shit in the chat. But, they did once have the Honey Bears, and then they retired them. I don't know if Virginia McCaskey wasn't a fan or what. I actually met a honey bear. I don't know if that was one of the days you were with me, Trae, but I actually met a honey bear at Hallis Hall at training camp. It was pretty cool. I don't have her picture anymore, I don't believe. I'd have to look, but I don't believe I do. Here, let me see if it's in here. It was pretty cool, though, but regardless, we don't have to get off track here. But I did meet a honey bear, or allegedly, because she claimed it. So I have to believe her, So, so that was it.
Like she could be a honey bear?
Yeah, I mean, the honey bears were around in the 70s, so she's a little older now. So I kind of had to take her word for it. Not to say she wasn't a good-looking old lady, but she's an old lady. I don't know what else to say. She was. I mean, I don't know if I have it anymore. It might be in here. Let me see if it is. I doubt it is, but it could be. I don't see it. No, I don't see it. So no honey bear picture. It was one of those days, though. I do have. This is the picture I have with A-Rob's girl. She wasn't a honey bear, but I'm sure a few people wouldn't mind if she was.
Right.
But no honey bear picture in the extra brand, as they call it here on StreamYard.
Very nice looking.
Yes. Well, she's more famous than her husband or boyfriend. I think just boyfriend. I'm not sure if they're married, but yeah. So regardless, let's continue rolling it along. There was Justin Fields coming out the tunnel. So let's start getting into the plays of the game and just reacting to them one at a time. We went in numerical order a couple weeks ago for the home game against the Bengals, and I kind of enjoyed how that show flowed, as long as I'm not rambling too much. And here I am already rambling. So let's get right into it. David Montgomery, beast mode in the first quarter. There it is. David Montgomery, first drive of the game, first touchdown of the game. Just looked like he was ready for a big day. I was really disappointed, Trae, on that first drive, and myself, trying to get the good shot, of him getting in the end zone. I missed the diving catch by Darnell Mooney, one of the few throws of the day that I missed as far as coverage is concerned. What a hell of a throw that was.
I said the one thing about that throw, I said, Mooney did have to go get that ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
As good as a throw as it was, like his other throws were really that much better. If you really like pay attention or see how he had hit Mooney in stride, and I don't know how many times we talked about in the past about hitting your receivers in stride, or at least putting the ball out there for them to go get it, and far too many times you've seen receivers have to slow down and wait for the ball to come to them. And
sure,
you didn't see that once. Justin Fields just puts it right where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, he has a couple every once in a while that'll flare up on them and go over their head. He had a couple. If we're really picking it apart,
it's like.
But for the most part, I agree with you.
Right? Yeah, for the completions. I mean, for the incompletes, like sometimes it's just the ball just gets away from you.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's got a juice when it comes out his hand. So every once in a while it is gonna. It's just, he's not going to be a perfect passer, especially in his second career game as a starter, but for the most part, that zip, gets it where it needs to be.
Yeah, most of those floaters were like going towards the sideline anyway, too. You know, like a lot of the ones that were, you know, a little high. You know, you don't want them to throw too high over the middle because you know, too many times. So yeah, I can let those ones that he
And
missed.
Darnell Mooney showed off this one-handed acrobatic catch ability in training camp.
Right.
You know, he was showing this off. They didn't play him in preseason. I don't know if they were trying to keep him a secret or what, but from what I saw at camp, it led me to believe, and I talked to my good friend and co-host and producer of this show, Jay Kovanik, who you know, is in my fantasy league. He drafted A-Rob early, and I drafted Darnell Mooney a little later. And I made the prediction to him, and I was serious when I said it, that I thought Darnell Mooney would statistically have a better year than Allen Robinson. And that isn't a slight on A-Rob. I know a lot of people are critical of A-Rob lately. You know, he's disgruntled with the Bears, and he dropped the first touchdown against the Bengals. And, you know, his agents talking a lot of smack on Twitter after games and deleting tweets and things like that. But A-Rob's going to have an up with, you know, obviously the talent of Justin Fields. I think he'll have an up in production. But I think Darnell Mooney is set to have a breakout year if they can figure out how to run a consistent offense. It'll be a little tougher now without David Montgomery in the fold. But Darnell Mooney showed me that he's capable of being the top wide receiver on this team. There, you know, Allen Robinson is a guy that's going to get those short yardage crossing routes. He'll get some downfield stuff, but everything I saw down the field at camp was going to Marquise Goodwin and Darnell Mooney. And Darnell Mooney obviously is their top guy. And so to me, he's showing off all the skill set to be a wide receiver one for this team. And then you get in the red zone, and then David Montgomery reaps the benefits with his first touchdown on the first drive of the game. You know, going from Cleveland, where they only had one passing yard and 49 total yards of offense, to get a touchdown on their first drive. Yes, it's against the Lions. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. They needed that in a really bad way. So let's go right into the second drive of the game. And obviously it was a big day for Demo, but set up by, you know, we talked about this Justin Fields, Darnell Mooney connection. This was the moonshot we were all waiting for.
All right.
Oh, well, here I go. Well, I thought I had it. There it is, the moonshot to Darnell Mooney.
Right in stride, the way you want to see it happen.
Yes, sir.
Right there, and when I was in training camp with you, I said, man, this dude's speed and acceleration and his quickness, because a lot of NFL players are fast, but when you have that quickness and that acceleration, you know, to get at top level speed, like faster than the other players, and get that separation, you're going to see a lot more of that.
And that was a double move from Darnell Mooney. You don't really see it in the video, but what you do see in the video is Justin Fields looking off the safety, you know, and you know, we talk about the ghost of Mitch missed pass, but that might have been something that you didn't see that much from Mitchell Trubisky, but you're seeing it already in his second start with Justin Fields. You can see the eyes go left, and that is enough time to keep that safety who runs into the picture off Darnell Mooney. And man, if Mooney stays to the sidelines there, you know, he might have had a touchdown, but he cuts it back in. My heart was skipping a beat because I thought Justin Fields' first career touchdown as a starter and the first passing touchdown of his career was going to be a 90-yard bomb. I'm like, oh, man. Because a lot of time, you know, when I'm trying to capture a moment, I don't always have my camera ready when they're that far to the other side of the field. But now that Justin Fields is in, you kind of got to be ready for anything, because he's a highly dynamic thrower, and obviously any moment could be the first touchdown pass of his career. We once again didn't get it. So two home games in a row, 3 games basically total, Bengals, Browns, and now the Lions game where we can't seem to find a way to get him to throw a dang touchdown pass. He's got the rushing touchdown pass in the first game of the year against the Rams, not as a starter, but it's like, God damn, I just want one passing touchdown. That's too much. I know I'm getting greedy here because they're 2-2, but we all want better for our QB1 here. Yeah. So, and I agree, Mooney is a decent blocker. That's a good point factor.
Right, and that's what I want to touch on too about the team blocking. Komet out there, Holtz out there, A-Rod, Mooney, all the receivers just blocking like. I mean, it looked like they were blocking like their life depended on it. I mean, you could just see the effort and the feet and the arm activity. I was like, man, they are going after it today. Like you could just tell. I mean, you could see the effort. It was oozing off of them, man. And you just want that every game. And like I know you're gonna hear this all the time. Well, it was the Lions, yeah, but they're a football team that's full of effort too.
Sure.
And that's what
could have beat the Ravens the week prior.
Right. And that was one of the major things I was worried about the Lions because of their effort. I mean, because your effort can mask your talent, to a certain extent. If you're putting in 100% and you're giving it your all, I mean it's contagious. First of all, like all
100%.
all your other players on your team are gonna see that and feed off of it. And it was all there for the Bears, and I really, was happy to see that, and I hope it continues.
100%, and like Chubbs is saying, and I pointed out too, just how he looks off that safety, that little head turn is just so big. I mean, it just shows. You give this guy enough time back there, and he has the ability to do things like that. And we're not necessarily used to that here in Chicago. Maybe a part of getting time in the pocket is the way Bill Lazor calls these plays, the way he calls up the protection schemes. But regardless, when you give that kind of protection to Justin Fields, he's going to make you pay in that way. Darnell Mooney, you give him that much time to get downfield, he's going to get open. He's faster than most guys that are going to be covering him. So there it is. You get a big time throw, get back into the red zone, second drive of the game, and that lines up David Montgomery, not Derrick Henry, David Montgomery's second touchdown of the game. And there's exactly what you were talking about there, Trae. Looking at everyone blocking, and if you look at because it's a huge scrum, so it's hard to kind of decipher who's who in the pile. But Darnell Mooney is right at the front of that, so we'll play this again. Keep an eye on the wide receivers, as Trae just pointed out, blocking and everyone getting energized to make a play, even if they don't have the ball.
How happy Mooney is after the whole thing commits, like going. I mean, you just that's a perfect clip of what we were just talking about, like, and how you just saw the team blocking and man, that's that. I mean, because not all teams you don't see that, especially like a lot of Bears football. You don't always see that, even from other teams. I'm not gonna just put it off on the Bears, but when you see that team come together and give that effort and that push when you can tell they want it, and you get those results.
And as Chubbs points out, the effort is apparent when Justin Fields is in there. This isn't a slight on Andy Dalton. This is just human nature. This team is excited for the future of this franchise just as much as the fans are. I mean, a lot of these guys want to believe that they're going to be a part of this team when Justin Fields finally hits his peak He's in there making plays. They get in the red zone, two drives in a row, score 2 touchdowns after last week's abysmal performance in Cleveland. And now you've got everyone hyped up. Before the game started, Trae, another thing I missed on my coverage was they have, in their pregame warm-up before they do the final intros before the game starts, they all get in a big huddle and they always kind of say some things to each other. That was this last game on Sunday was the most energetic huddle before a game I have seen in a long time from the Bears. And I don't know if it was planned, but they were playing the swag surfing club dub song. Yeah, exactly. And that's something that was a staple of the 2018 team. And sometimes I wish they'd just move off and do their own thing. But at the same time, on Sunday for this pregame huddle, they're playing this song. They all are huddling up. Akeem Hicks is giving these guys a gladiator type speech, and they're all hyped, like all, swaying back and forth and like jumping around. And you could tell they were really juiced up for this game, whether it be, that Justin Fields is their starter and they're at home, or to right the wrong from the game against Cleveland. But regardless, the energy level is there. It's completely visible. And I agree. It's not, to me, it's not a slight on Andy Dalton. It's just human nature and the way these guys are excited to play with this guy as their leader. So, and Anthony, we'll get into that here in a little bit, but not great is how I felt when he said Andy Dalton was the starter again. We'll get into that at the end of the highlight coverage, but to me, I think it's a lot of more word salad and him trying to not run the truck over on Andy Dalton while he's hurt and is going to potentially lose his job as the starter through injury. And nobody likes to lose their job through injury. So, we'll see what happens in regard to that, and we'll touch on it here at the end, but we're going to stick to the highlights. So another play, and these are all in numerical order. Another play that really stood out was this incompletion. It was one of the best plays I saw from Justin Fields all game, and he evades the pass rush, improvises outside of the pocket, and just falls short of making the completion. But it's a hell of a play. Let's check it out. I mean, just look.
That spin move when he did. Yeah.
Spin cycles out. He recognizes the blitz, spin cycles out, waits for, to look, keeps his eyes downfield. This is something I saw at training camp a lot with Justin. He doesn't just take off and run for it. Once he gets outside the pocket, he continues to keep his eyes downfield. And then he tries to throw Cole Kmet open, and Cole turns and slightly slips and isn't able to get to what he wants. The flag. I don't know if he was going to get a flag on that. The mind. We'll check it out again. The presence of mind by Justin Fields here just shows the ability that he There it is, man. I mean, that's a total package. The spin cycle, the eyes while the linebacker or the pressure's coming to him outside the pocket. And then to not just throw it towards the sidelines, to throw it back to Cole Kmet's back shoulder and try to give him an opportunity to make a play.
Right.
Big time. Even though it's an incompletion, that's a big time play by Justin Fields.
Yeah, what sucks is that if he would have caught that going the other way towards the middle of the field, he had nothing but space and opportunity.
Yep.
With one man to beat coming off, that was guarding A-Rob. If A-Rob could have got a good block on him, and what's funny, like I think real early in the game, I think he was like 4 for 4 for 90 something yards, and I'm just like, oh my god, like and like 4 for 4 95 yards, and I'm like, wow, and you're not used to seeing these deep plays, and before I just wanted to see them take a shot. I'm like, just take a shot down the field.
Yep.
I mean, and of course you know you need time, but it's ways you can scheme and block. You know, have a blocking scheme to create time. So, like I said, it's ways and you know with your effort that can overcome not just having pure raw talent. It's ways you can scheme and block and protection and all that stuff to create time. And I thought they did a lot of that. I mean, because you saw a lot of big time plays. More, I mean, how many?
They're bringing extra tight ends in. They're doing things to give him more time to throw. 100%. I have to agree with the factor here too. You know, Cole Kmet's got to start stepping up a little bit. You know, our guy B. Schultz, who had one of his threads go viral where they were asking Cole Kmet to do a lot of blocking responsibilities in this last game. And that probably is true. You know, I trust B. Schultz's assessment. He's a really good Twitter follower. Twitter follow if you want for Bears Twitter to get good insight and a good perspective. But in his opportunities to make a play like right there, you know, he just looks somewhat clumsy. And you wish you saw a little more athleticism. This is a guy that had a big-time resume coming out of Notre Dame. And, you know, you saw Jesper Horsted in the preseason have the 3-touchdown performance, albeit against lesser talent, second and third string guys in the second half of a preseason game. Or Jesse James even, who had a really good connection with Justin Fields at training camp. And in some of the preseason games, he had the touchdown pass to Jesse James, a wide open one against the Dolphins on a little play action, and Jesse slips out. So, you know, it's a matter of, you know, Cole Kmet having to step up and make some plays there. You know, Justin Fields does all that, and then it turns into an incompletion. You gotta help your quarterback out. You know, he's making all these plays. You gotta make those plays if you're Cole Kmet. And you know, he's a second-year tight end, and this is his second game with Justin Fields. So maybe that connection will develop eventually because, you know, I know Chubbs is probably screaming it to the mountaintops, and I am too. You know, this is why you give Justin Fields reps with the first-string team offense in the preseason at training camp because he has no continuity with Darnell Mooney, Allen Robinson, Cole Kmet, David Montgomery, any of these guys. He's just now developing this chemistry with them on the fly in the season. He got no reps with these guys.
Right,
so,
and it's only going to get better pretty much from here.
That's the idea. But if you would, you're tying one hand behind Justin Fields' back, trying to develop this chemistry on the fly in the middle of a season when you're trying to win games. You're not, you know, this is the same crap that went on with Mitch in 2017. You know, you can say what you want as a fan or who are analysts and say, well, this team isn't going anywhere. This is just a developmental year for Justin Fields. These guys aren't playing thinking like that. They're trying to win every game they're going out there. So when you get into a game, now you're trying to do anything you can to win that game. And if that means, you know, playing things differently and not as freely and loosely as you would, you know, if you're just doing a throwaway season, they're trying to make the playoffs. So they're not just going to go out there and wing it to try to figure out what they can and can't do. That's what preseason and training camp is for. Right. Well, now they don't have time to do that, so they can only do so much in the season and take certain risks, you know, without turning the ball over. So, you know, it's, you know, exactly. He's only on day 15 with the first team offense, whereas, you know, Mac Jones has been with the first team for 3 months, you know, and so it's that part of it's disappointing. So maybe we need to give Cole Kmet a little bit more of an opportunity to develop that chemistry with Justin Fields.
And I'm willing to give him that. You know, I'll give him a pass on that one because, like I said before, with the effort, when you see the effort there, you know, like things like that can be corrected and fixed because it's not because of lack of effort. You know, slips happen, and you know, especially on Soldier Field. So, I mean, I would like to see like maybe like a late release, like a chip block, and then go out for you know, like maybe like something up the seam or something like that, like you know, crossing over the middle more for
we haven't seen too many passes for Justin Fields over the middle. Most of his passes are going to the sidelines.
Right.
And that takes time because you're throwing through the teeth of the defense when you're throwing over the middle. You got the line and the linebackers. You got all three levels lurking around there. It's safer to throw to the sidelines because you can just throw it over their head or where they can catch it. You start throwing it over the middle, and now that gives an opportunity for the defense to make a play on the ball. So, that takes time. That takes chemistry. That takes, comfortability with Justin's eyes and how the speed of the game is coming to him. So it'll be interesting to see how that progresses. The idea is that he'll just get better and better as each week goes, but then each week carries its own obstacles. Now you don't have David Montgomery there to protect you in the play action, when they're all their eyes are on David Montgomery. And now these running backs behind him got to step up so Justin Fields can still effectively play action and keep the defense on their toes to make more plays. So, that's the kind of stuff, that's gonna. But I just love seeing that because you saw how tough Justin Fields had with the pressure against Cleveland, and right there he saw the pressure, spun out, and made a play and was calm, cool, and collected the whole time. Now they had the 2 touchdowns. That was a missed opportunity there. Then they finally got the ball with about 2 minutes left in the first half, and they're trying to get down the field to either work their way for a touchdown or a field goal, and then this happened. There it is. Tip ball for little tipped interception. It's hard to see. I haven't even watched the TV broadcast of the game. Was it Darnell Mooney that tipped that pass?
No, it was
or is it a Lions?
It was a Lions player that tipped it. It was
I see the defensive line got their hand up in it. So interception for Fields, but tough to. He's got to be aware that the defensive line, they're smart enough to get their hands up at this level of football in the NFL, but not one I'm going to bang my head against that Fields threw an interception there.
Right. Yeah. That's I think this was preseason. I think when he threw an interception, it was something that was deflected too. And I think the same way, like you can look off safety, sometimes you can kind of trick the defensive line into thinking, you're going another direction with the ball too. But that, like I said, all that is going to come with, learning. Like I think, Justin Fields is the kind of player that learns from his mistakes, and you just won't just see if he does something wrong. You're not going to just see it over and over and over again.
Sure.
He's a smart kid. You
saw that with the way he started identifying the blitz.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so the Raiders have a decent squad, and I'm just excited to see him to continue to progress, and especially with the offense. I would like to see him. Maybe I don't know. The game plan was cool to me, but at the same time, you just want to see some other things too. Like some more tight end stuff, but you can't really complain too much. It's almost like, am I asking for too much?
Yeah, the results were there. The 14-0 lead in the first half. Yeah, we want more, but hell, we haven't seen the Bears score 30
right,
points
yeah, it's almost like, hey,
ever.
You can just do this all the time.
One step at a time.
Right.
But, you want. I don't think, for as much as people were saying last week to roll them out of the pocket, I don't know how much you necessarily saw that against the Lions. I think you just saw more larger protection schemes, tight ends, running back staying back to block, but a lot of his stuff was still coming from the pocket. I didn't see too much rolling out or things of that nature, with Bill Lazor finally calling the plays, and we'll get into Matt Nagy's remarks about Bill Lazor calling the plays here in just a little bit, but let's continue rolling into the highlights. Now we get into the second half. And this is one of my favorite throws of the day from Justin Fields to Allen Robinson. Fire the laser from Justin Fields. You got a 7-man front again. Look at the protection that he gets All these guys up front blocking, giving him plenty of time, staying in the pocket, throwing it over the linebacker's head, a complete frozen rope to Allen Robinson. I know there were some more highlight reel type throws of the day, but these are the kind of big boy throws that are going to get you to the playoffs and eventually win you a Super Bowl. Those, like I said, not too many over the middle throws. Most of his stuff going to the sidelines. That one was right down the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of throws that big time quarterbacks make, and he made it right there.
Right. Yeah, because like all the great quarterbacks, when I talk about over the middle stuff, like hitting the slants right on time and like those crossing routes, which the Bears seem to really be getting comfortable with, especially with Mooney coming across. It takes a while to develop, but when you see Mooney coming across, it's like something. It's almost like their bread and butter, and he has the speed and the moves to create that separation.
Yep.
So that's like a go-to.
Allen Robinson is as good as it gets off the line of scrimmage with his footwork. He may not have the speed of a Darnell Mooney, but he knows how to create separation with his hands and his footwork right at the line of scrimmage. And you don't see him in this highlight coming off the line. You just see him see him enter you see him enter, but you can see the separation he has once he receives the ball. But Justin still has to get it over the linebacker's head. The linebacker had no chance on this throw because it's such a frozen rope. It's not a lollipop. Right. And, I'm just thoroughly impressed by that. And Chubbs in the chat said, well, he liked the other A-Rob throw better. Well, this is a good problem to have, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
We're arguing about which throw was our favorite.
Other throw was, I definitely agree. Like, I was gonna wait till we got to it to talk about it, but I said we haven't even got to the best throw yet.
That's the best part of this whole breakdown we're starting to see Justin Fields come into his own. The Bengals game had some decent throws. The A-Rob drop touchdown that was a 50-yard dime ball, deep bomb into the end zone. That was a tough one that I know Allen Robinson wishes he had back, and that could have been Justin Fields' first career touchdown pass. But some of these throws are nothing to thumb your nose at. These are big time throws. And another big time throw, we played it at the start of the game. Hogan Johns gave it a shout out on their podcast, and shout out to those guys for always giving me a shout out. Appreciate those guys recognizing my work. Real recognizes real. The Hogan Johns podcast from The Athletic. They do a great job. And they were referencing this play, the sideline shot that we showed before the intro.
That's what a quarterback just. All right, we got to. All right, everybody, come down. It's man. You just
he's not phased by it one bit. Yeah, he's ready for the next play.
Just a big time play, right?
But what a throw! I mean,
it's still not even the best throw, and that's exciting. You just see good throw after good throw after good throw. And how he just drops it in there, and
that's drop. Throws it right where only the receiver can get it. Darnell Mooney does an amazing job of kind of baiting the cornerback towards the middle of the field, giving himself a little bit of room to then drift towards the sideline right at the end. That just shows Darnell Mooney's confidence in his speed, that he doesn't immediately go to the sideline. He gives himself some space to curl out and make that over-the-shoulder catch. And Justin Fields just dropped it right into the bucket.
What does that say about him as a second-year receiver? Just to have the intelligence to do stuff like that.
I think that's a lot of instinct when you're that type of a wide receiver or that type of an athlete. Obviously he works on his craft, so I don't want to sell that short. But the special ones, it's just off instinct. They do it because that's just how they feel. It's a feel. And I wouldn't know because I'm no athlete. I'm no Darnell Mooney athlete, but just from seeing so many different athletes come through Hallis Hall and Bourbonnais and Soldier Field, some of those guys just have that it. and Darnell Mooney has it. And, you know, to me, he's very Deshaun Jackson-like. You could see that last year. He has that kind of smoothness to the way he runs, that dynamic speed. You know, he's got a lot of swagger. You know, Deshaun Jackson was dripping in swagger, but this guy's a little more soft-spoken than Deshaun publicly or through the media. But Darnell Mooney is a big-time player. And to me, a budding superstar if Justin Fields continues to ascend the way we think he's going to. But, man, it just doesn't get any better than this as far as throws. I mean, might even be better than the double move for 65 yards. I mean, this is a big-time throw.
Right. I hate to say it as much as I like A-Rob. He probably makes A-Rob expendable. And, I mean, I love A-Rob, but, with the development of Mooney, there's no way they're going to keep A-Rob after this season.
It's tough to justify paying him $20 million. You know, it's going to make Darnell Mooney's life harder if he's not here, though, because part of the reason Darnell Mooney's able to make some of the plays he is because you do have Allen Robinson there that they do have to pay attention to, whether Bears fans are frustrated with him or not. And, you know, they got to at least replace him if they're not going to, but if they're not going to keep Allen Robinson. But yes, I agree. It's hard to justify giving him $20 million a year at this point when it seems like Darnell Mooney at some point is going to be ready for a big payday. Absolutely good coverage by the DB. No chance. As Chubb says, you're taught to give space from the sideline. So, you know,
you don't see that all the time.
No, you don't. This is
you can be taught to do a lot of things. It's the execution of it that makes. I mean, looks like as soon as he knows he's about to catch the ball, you know, you see the release like over to the sideline, and that's just awareness too. Yep. I mean, to know where you're at on the field, and you know, all of that happening like that. Like, it's so easy to say that, but to execute it is a whole other thing.
Yeah, I agree. And coming from Tulane, I mean, 5th round pick coming from Tulane, not a big school, you know, and to look like the seasoned vet that he has here in these first 2 years. He had Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky throwing him the ball last year. Now he's got Justin Fields throwing to him. He's going to look better and better. You know, I got him on my fantasy bench in my other league, not our league, Trae Tunes, which we can talk about our fantasy league, the Trae Tunes fantasy league, in a little bit. But I don't know if you've taken notice, but my team is probably going to win the whole thing in your league. You know, I don't mean to brag, but I got a pretty dynamic team over there. So while you're going and taking a peek at that, we'll move on to the next highlight of the game. And, you know, that was the Mooney sideline bomb, which then set up another rushing touchdown for the Chicago Bears, this time from Damian Williams. He's got a little arm that got in the way of the shot. Damian Williams fighting for those final yards to get in the end zone. I cut the video short because I didn't think he got in, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! They're gonna run an RPO so Justin can get a damn touchdown." Nope, they said touchdown Damian Williams, and then here was the reaction. You see how fired up this team is at this point. They're up 21 to nothing there.
Close. I didn't think they were gonna even after the replay. I'm looking like, oh man, they didn't cross the plane. They ruled it a touchdown. I'm like, they got to keep it that way now. But it was so close. But either way, I still think we were going to get in there.
Oh yeah, I mean they weren't going to be denied at that point. The way they were running the ball, you know, they would have probably just given it to Montgomery if Williams hadn't gotten in at that point. But it looks like they're going to need Williams more now more than ever with the injury news of David Montgomery, which we'll get into here in just a few moments. But now we'll move on to the best Allen Robinson catch and throw from Justin Fields of the day. And Trae had this as his top throw. And Chubbs in the chat said this was his favorite throw to Allen Robinson. So here it is. You hear that at the end? So that's what a quarterback looks like.
Yeah, that pass right there, that's that like in between the defenders and like right where your receiver can get it and make a play on it. Oh man, you just love it, man.
Look how fired up this team is. Look at Marquise Goodwin, Damian Williams. Look at the sideline.
Man.
You think these guys aren't fired up to have Justin Fields throwing them the football? I mean, come on. I don't know what you're looking at, Matt Nagy, but the other thing I like is how, it seems like Justin Fields checks out of whatever the initial call at the line of scrimmage was to go to this. So he recognized something, and then he doesn't throw to Damian Williams. So you see at the top of the screen there at the end of the throw, Damian Williams is wide open for the check down at the top of the screen.
Right.
And Justin is like, no. I'm going to throw this dime ball right to the sidelines. And Allen Robinson makes a hell of a catch, keeping both feet in, toe drag swag. Shout out Nate Burleson. And that's beautiful football right there.
Right. Yeah, man, when I saw that, I got so excited. I'm like, because those are the plays you want to see out of your quarterback, like those tight window throws.
Yep.
And when you see stuff like that, only on the second start, you just get excited because like he's only going to get better. I'm not going to sit up here and act like everything's going to be great. But when you see stuff like this right here, you just know. I mean, it's almost like you almost want to be like Will and be a little cautious. Like, I don't know, it's
you don't want to jinx it. I mean, we've been through this so many times where we overhype players for all the sports teams in Chicago: baseball, football, basketball, whatever. Bulls about to get started here, and they have all sorts of hype behind them. And yeah, part of you as a fan, we go full meatball. We want to throw our parades before the season even starts. But there is that doubt in the back of your head. You're like, man, is this actually going to be the one? Is it going to work out, or am I jinxing it if I hype this up too much? Then they get their ass kicked against Cleveland. You're like, I did jinx it. I got way too hyped for this for no reason. And then, the Lions, are always good medicine when the Lions come to town. And, the get right Lions, you always get right against them. And that's that. I said that before the game. I was like, I will not react to a win against the Lions. I will not overreact to a win against the Lions. And I said it like 15 times, but even after then he makes that throw, I go, I will overreact to a win against the Lions, because you just can't help yourself as a fan. And, hey, come on now. Sports are supposed to be fun. So, I'm not going to live life trepidatious and cautious, play caution to the wind, and I'll believe it when I see it. No, I'm going to get hyped up before it even becomes something that is deserved. That's just the type of fan I am. So I don't blame anybody for getting overly hyped after you see a throw like that.
And the difference is, it's like, yeah, they're the Lions. And as I said earlier, we're going to say that a lot during the show. Like, yeah, they're the Lions, but it wasn't like either one of those were bad coverage. Like the previous Mooney play and this one right here, it's not like the coverage was bad. Like, it was a breakdown of coverage. He was just so wide open because the team is so bad. No, that's a good execution by the offense. Even pre-play, like how he checked out of whatever he saw.
Right.
Like, when you see stuff like that and you pay attention to the little things like that, that kind of does give you hope.
Yeah.
And we just haven't had it. Like, okay, he had short practice, versus the Browns, bad game play calling and all that stuff. All right, now we got good play calling, a little bit more practice, but it's a bad team. Now let's see what we do against a good team.
Yep.
Like
the
with
3-1 Raiders on the road. It's their second test being in a hostile environment, a team that's potentially playoff bound, just like the Cleveland Browns. Let's see how they react this time now that they have a win under their belt, a little bit of momentum. Yes, they lost David Montgomery. Hopefully Damian Williams is okay because he did have a thigh bruise. And then they have Khalil Herbert, who I was speaking very highly of on Twitter. I saw a lot from him at training camp that leads me to believe he could surprise some people, but I can't guarantee that without knowing how he can handle protection, because part of being a running back isn't just running the football. You have to understand blitz schemes that are coming at you and understanding what your assignment is on who you're blocking when you're not running the ball. And so if he can't pick that up, then he won't be surprising anyone in the backfield, because they'll have to play Damian Williams, a veteran who does understand, blitz and cover it, pressure pickups, So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. But I do believe Damian Williams and Khalil Herbert will be better. We have a lot of running backs in that room. Tariq Cohen is still on the mend, won't be available until week 7. But people questioned why they brought in Damian Williams when they have all these other guys. Well, now you're seeing it.
Yeah.
David Montgomery goes down, and now you have Herbert and Williams. They brought back Artavis Pierce, and Ryan Nall. Those guys will be kind of back-end guys. I think Ryan Nall will probably get the first call-up because he's on the practice squad now. They just brought Artavis Pierce back, so I don't anticipate them bringing Artavis. I don't think Artavis will leapfrog Ryan Nall, but regardless, those are the third running backs on the depth chart, so they're not going to get very much run. I mean, Khalil Herbert wasn't getting many carries in the backfield as the third-string running back, so I can't imagine either one of those guys will. It'll be the Damian Williams and Khalil Herbert show, and I do believe Damian Williams will get first crack at being the running back, the featured back for the Bears now. But if Khalil Herbert can understand how to pick up the pressure and block the correct guys on his assignments, I could see Khalil Herbert then taking the role of David Montgomery and letting Damian Williams stay in the role that he's currently at. But they have to be able to trust him in that role, Khalil Herbert that being. But I think to start out, you'll have Damian Williams getting the lion's share of the ball, and then maybe Khalil Herbert getting a lot of looks in the red zone, and then building off of that to see where he goes. But the kid's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of talent. He's already the kickoff returner. He was doing a great job at that. So he's not afraid to take on impact, heavy impact. That's what it takes. You have to be willing to stick your head down and take a big hit as a kick returner. And so he's got a lot of speed. If he can play that position, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think that Khalil Herbert can surprise some people, next Sunday against the Raiders, but we shall see. So let's move on to the next play. So, you had the A-Rob toe drag swag that gets you down into the red zone. And of course that leads up to what I was hoping was going to be Justin Fields' first touchdown pass of his career, and it wasn't meant to be because the Lions are cheaters. And you see how mad you saw Matt. He was like about to call up to the top booth. He was hoping he could challenge that, like you used to be able to a couple of years ago when you could challenge pass interference. Right. The ball was thrown a little over, like maybe not catchable, but you can certainly see the tug by the Lions defender on Cole Kmet's hip. So it wasn't meant to be.
Of course, that one he didn't complain about at all.
Yeah. No, ain't it? Right. He barely complained. Nagy went ballistic even after the video when I stopped recording. he was going ballistic on the refs, kept pointing up to the replay.
Yeah, that's
was
what he
hoping,
needs to focus on.
maybe
Focus
not a
on
pass
that.
interference worthy because it's way over his head, but at the very least, it should have been holding, 5-yard penalty, and automatic first down. That's, I mean, he's holding him. I mean, it's as clear as day. He's tugging on his hip. So a missed call by the refs at the end of the day, and a missed opportunity for another touchdown there for Justin Fields in the offense. We got Taco Grease in the chat. He's watching ESPN right now. Red Sox versus Yanks. Rizzo with the Yanks. Schwarber with the Red Sox. Who do I got? You know, I've tuned out baseball for the last couple months, so anything I say, I'll be shooting into the wind. But I guess I'll take the Yanks. You know, I'm hoping for a rematch of Yankees White Sox from that Field of Dreams game. That was a great game. Rizzo wasn't even a part of that game because he had COVID at the time. And I think that would just be a great ALCS matchup. So
I'm not a Sox fan, but I was at the rally yesterday, and it got me one of these things. Pretty sweet.
Oh my God, Trae. Can you not put that down? Not on this show.
I mean, I'm not a Sox fan, but I thought this is pretty sweet. Now, man, I wish I had something like this for Bears and Cubs. Oh my God.
Oh boy.
That really let you down.
Yeah, you did. You went. I saw you were with Notes, hanging out with Notes, watching Waddle and Sylvie's live remote.
Yeah.
Brian Sanchez in the chat. What's good, Brian? Welcome to the show. Having a little fun talking Bears. Yeah,
what's
and
up, Brian?
we got Bill.
I gotta get Brian.
We got the horn going. When do the White Sox play? A couple more days, right? They don't play tomorrow. They play.
They play
Thursday, maybe.
Is it Thursday and Friday? Because I know they play Friday.
Yeah, they play Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. I believe is their schedule, and Sunday's a night game. So you know, and Taco has one of those too. So great, you both have garbage memorabilia. No, I'm kidding. I'm trying not to hate on the White Sox. So let them win whatever they're going to do in the playoffs. Good for them. I'm not trying to be a hater. As long as they retire that L flag, I'll be nicer about it. But we shall see. So let's roll it along, keep it rolling, because I want to try to get out of here in the next 30 to 45 minutes with you having your karaoke gig here coming up. So, you know, after the no call for Cole Kmet, no touchdown, to get the field goal, now it's 24-0 or whatever it is at that time. The Bears get the ball back at one point in the second half, and this is when the injury to David Montgomery happens. I didn't have video of the play itself because the game started to slow down at this point. They were just trying to run out the clock. And then, of course, the worst case scenario happens and David Montgomery gets hurt. And you see all the players take a knee. And when he's finally able to get to his feet, it doesn't look good. So you see the grimace on his face, you see the frustration, you see the limp. He's able to get off on his own power, but you know, you see how scared the rest of the team looked at that time. Obviously, he's the workhorse of your team, the guy you lean on this offense. Had 2 touchdowns in the first half, and then he goes off like that. Not a pretty sight at all. Yeah. And before we have our comments on it, I want to play the second video as they take him into the tunnel, and the fans give him a little round of applause. And, you know, you can see a little more of him walking with that limp. Now we know is a knee sprain, which will keep him out 4 to 5 weeks. Here it is. tough to see when you know, after the day he had and this offense starting to bud with Justin Fields, and you get the carpet pulled, and, you know, they get the win, and then it feels like a loss when you lose a guy like David Montgomery.
Right. Who's really been doing a great job all season. You know, so I mean, I know it's early in the season, but he's been there every game. So yeah, it is deflating, but you know, it's just good to know that he will be back soon. So you just hope to see that you know, you have depth at that position, so that
that was big.
Yeah, we can take a look and see what Damian Williams can do now, and you know, Ricky Herbert. You know, what you said. I said Justin Herbert took care of the Raiders last week. Now Justin and Herbert are going to take care of the Raiders.
Yeah, Khalil. Justin first, Khalil second. Yeah, absolutely. I like the way you're thinking.
Right.
They're going to need it without this guy in there. But luckily, not a season ender. Definitely could have been worse. Could have been an ACL, which would have been putting him in a 9 to 12 month rehab. The way Tariq Cohen's having to go through that right now, and then he had to get a second surgery to clean stuff out, which only prolonged his rehabilitation process. Tariq Cohen, that being so, you know, he avoided that. It's a knee sprain. He was able to get off on his own power. He didn't get carted off. You know, he's got a lot of pride. I wish he would have taken the cart, you know, but I guess felt like he didn't need it, and so he walked off on his own power to get out of there. And knee sprain, 4 to 5 weeks. You know, hey, though. You know, people think, well, maybe that means 5 games. Well, maybe it's just 4 if you consider it's the week leading up to the next game because he got hurt right then and there. Right. So maybe, you know, he'll only miss 4 games, and maybe somehow, some way, the Bears can split. They have the Raiders on the road, then they have the Packers at home, then the Bucks on the road, and then the 49ers at home, and they have to find a way to scratch out 2 wins out of those next 4 games if they want to continue to keep the playoffs within reach. You know, that NFC North is attainable. The Packers look very good as per usual. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, you know, is certainly going to be coming here ready to, you know, knife our hearts as he always does, giving us this fucking look like he always does when he's knifing us.
I hate Aaron Rodgers so much.
You know he's going to come out of the tunnel dressed exactly like this. Like when we all thought he was going to retire, he's going to be like, I'm back. Sorry about you. You know? Right. Maybe he'll go to the Steelers or the Broncos next year.
Got the Rodgers rate. Yeah, and I was just thinking,
discount double check.
Oh, I hated that so much.
What can I say?
Right.
I knife your heart every year.
Right. Just totally tears us apart. But yeah, I said, okay, so you got the Patrick Price, the Rodgers rate, and how about the Fields fee? Do you think you got the you see Justin Fields being a State Farm sponsor with the Fields fee going in there? Is he good enough to be up there with the upper echelons of insurance sponsors?
Yeah, ain't it? And Chubbs is suggesting maybe he goes to hell next year. Sorry, I'm not going to hell. I'm going to be in Green Bay, which is basically hell. You know, isn't that what they said in you ever seen Dogma with
was that with Chris Rock?
Yeah, Chris Rock, but it's a spin-off from, you know, they made Mallrats and, you know, all, you know, that series of movies with Jay and Silent Bob, you know, and Dogma's in it, and it's a religious comedy, you know, and at one point he's like, well, they say something along the lines of, he's like, were they sent to hell? And the angel says, worse. Wisconsin. So that's a great movie for those of you that never seen Dogma. It's a great movie, whether you're a religious person or not. It's a very funny movie that kind of is tongue-in-cheek parody for religion. Very, very funny. Yeah, Chris Rock is in Dogma. He is one of the angels. He literally falls from the sky butt naked in the movie. So yeah, Damon and Ben Affleck are the angels, the angels of death or whatever. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it's a great movie for anybody that wants to see it. But anyway, There I go rambling on as I always do. I don't know how we got on Dogma, but damn Aaron Rodgers. So Demo gets hurt. So we're gonna have to see what we've touched on that with Damian Williams and Khalil Herbert taking the role on. Like I said, I think Khalil Herbert will surprise some people as long as he can pick up the protections, and we'll just have to wait and see. Probably want to roster Damian Williams first, but for those of you that can't get Damian Williams, take a flyer on Khalil Herbert and see how it shakes out here for the next month and a half, because I do think that he could potentially, at the very least, get red zone carries, if not take on David Montgomery's role if he can show that he's capable of doing that. So definitely people are going to be gunning for that in fantasy. We shall see. Derek says Dogma was good 15 years ago. Taco Grease says no one wants to see it. You know what? Go fuck yourselves. All right, you guys. Come on now.
Behave, Twitch chat.
Yeah. God damn. It's a good movie. 15 years ago or now. God damn you people. Go back to your shanties. So
I'm looking at your squad. Yeah,
for our fantasy league, I have David Montgomery, so I might want to think about picking somebody up in your league.
Was our league 12 teams or 10?
Yeah, our league is 12 teams, and somehow I have a better team in our 12-team league than I do in my 10-team league. I drafted better in the 12-team league somehow than I did in the 10
None of us know what we're doing, Braggs.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that might be it, because I have been kicking everyone's ass. I only have one. I don't even know how I got the one loss, but I got Kyler Murray killing it as my quarterback in that league. I got some. What's that?
You got Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara, David Montgomery. I got big time players on my bench. I got Russell Wilson and Mike Williams on my bench.
Oh, wow.
I know. Wow is right. I'm gonna start trading.
Mike Williams, they don't throw him the ball enough.
Well, they had the first few weeks. Last night he didn't get any. Luckily, they threw it to the tight end who won me one. And nobody gives a shit about my fantasy team or anybody's fantasy team for that matter. But Mike Williams has done pretty well to start the year for the Chargers, but they threw to the tight ends last night. So let's get back to the Bears. My fantasy team is going to win the Trae Tunes Fantasy League, first year ever. I think we should do it for money now that my team looks really good, but that's just me. But another thing that stood out to me in the second home game in a row, Justin Fields fumbles the football and then somehow is able to recover the fumble after it squirts, 10 yards away from him, and here it is.
So that's just effort right there, man.
Second time in a row that he's able to fumble the football, which is, not good.
Right.
But have a defender laying on his back and get up and recover the fumble yards away from where it started, where the play started. I mean,
how many people would have just laid there and said, "Oh no, there's the football," with the defender on their back? He gets up, outruns everybody else to the ball, and thank God. It's a bad that he fumbled, but don't give up on the play. It's good to see that, he had the awareness and willingness to go after it.
Yeah, it's crazy. The effort he puts out to be able to get back to that. You just can't speak more highly enough to make it's a bad play. You don't fumble the football in that situation. The Lions were starting to come back. So that was actually a huge recovery. Right. They had a couple touchdowns. I didn't get much defensive highlights in this game. I was keeping my eyes on the offense and Justin Fields and the play calling by Bill Lazor, but able to recover that fumble, which just speaks to his talents. And as I said, now moving on to the next highlight as we move along here, Damian Williams then takes over. And this is kind of some of the stuff he's going to be able to bring in the backfield for the Bears now that David Montgomery's on the shelf for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So there it is. You see the smoothness. You see him, the cutback ability. He even finishes with a little bit of power. And I love his energy the whole game. You know, you saw him being a cheerleader after big throws, getting fired up. Then you're seeing him score a touchdown. You're seeing him try to seal the game off with some runs at the end and playing with a lot of energy. And they're going to need that without David Montgomery there. They're going to need somebody that can, like, be a leader, be a veteran to this young team. And Damian Williams looks like he's ready to take on that role. So, you know, he's definitely going to get first crack at RB1. I know I'm talking up Khalil Herbert here as the dark horse, but we shall see how it plays out. But I think they're in decent hands with Damian Williams, you know, who could have easily won Super Bowl MVP a couple years ago for the Chiefs.
I was just about to say that. And also, you know, his familiarity with the offense.
Yep.
Like is key as well. So, and also his ability to catch the ball out the backfield. Like you saw, he was open on that pass that, that was completed to A-Rob on the, sideline. But, it's just like he's out there and he knows what he's doing. You know, it's not like you're putting in a second string and it's like, oh no, I don't feel that way. Right about this. It's like, of course you want David Montgomery out there, but it's like okay, he's down, but we got somebody who's very capable of filling in for him.
100%. And look who has entered the chat.
All right,
our guy Will, aka Liam Dutan. Will Dutan. Look at this is the look of a man that knows he's 4 wins away from a spooning session with Braggs that will be one for the ages. A photo shoot, spoon session that we're going to turn into a calendar.
Right. 12 months. 18-month calendar. We're going into
18-month calendar. That is definitely the look of a face of someone that realizes they have to spoon with Greg Braggs.
Oh, man, it's good to see you, Will. Been working hard.
And then I love this where I do the wanted for Ludex and then these things. Well, we love you, Will. We love you, Will. He called me last night. We had a nice conversation. Will's a good man. Will, we give him a lot of shit, but Will's a good man.
Will knows. Will knows.
Taco Grease asks, how do I feel about the new wide receiver the Bears signed from Miami? Don't know too much about him. Don't follow Miami that closely, but from everything we're seeing, a top shelf kick return, punt returner. I believe they brought him in to Jakeem Grant. I believe they brought him in, because Khalil Herbert's no longer going to be able to return kicks if he's going to be someone they rely on in the run game more with David Montgomery out. So he comes in, he fills that kick return slot and punt returner because then they cut the guy that was returning punts that wouldn't return punts. He just
that's what I was about to say.
Edwards, he got cut.
I'm like, is this dude who's back there to catch the ball? It's like I think 2 games ago he muffed a punt and hasn't tried to catch one since. It's like dude, you have to field those punts because it's like bouncing back and giving us even worse field position.
Well, he's going to learn from those mistakes on the chopping block because he got cut today, and they're going to be moving on to the next one with Jakeem Grant, who seems like he has a lot of speed. A guy that's had some touchdowns, punt returning and kick returning for the Dolphins, even played some wide receiver, although I don't think he'll get many opportunities at wide receiver on this team. So I think he'll
get out there more, hopefully. But with the protection scheme, you can't even really go 3 wide receivers. So, it depends if the opportunity presents itself. Hopefully, he'll get one. But because I think one of the passes to a good one was one of the ones he threw too high.
Yeah.
So
you're exactly right. That was the other one overthrow that I was thinking about when we were talking about some of Justin Fields' high throws. Earlier. Yeah. I don't know how much they're going to let Goodwin return kicks, but I think they had an idea that he'd be more involved in the offense at this point. He just hasn't had an opportunity yet. But it's only the second game with Fields. Now this is the third. Maybe he'll be the breakout name here against the Raiders. Let's hope, because they're going to need a big win here on Sunday with Green Bay around the corner in 2 weeks. So, that was it for Damian Williams. And then my final highlight of the game was Fields' final throw of the game, which got them a big first down, which helped milk the clock a little more. And this one was to Allen Robinson.
A-Rod was pumped, man.
You better be careful. He's going to get a taunting penalty going to that bench like that.
Yeah.
But a big-time play, again, to milk the clock. David Montgomery's out. They tried to run it a few times with Williams, weren't able to get, an easy first down that way. So then Justin Fields is relied on to make a throw there to extend the chains to get a little more of that clock juice down, wind it down so they can end the game. And there he is, fitting it into a tight window, coverage all over. Defender got a pass interference call that was waved off for the completion. Big-time throw. I mean, that's some of the throws you need to win a game at the end if your running game can't get the first down. And Justin Fields is able to complete it to Allen Robinson. That's big time. That's how a great way to finish a solid game where the numbers were misleading for Justin Fields because he didn't have, the glamorous touchdown passes because they all went to the running game. A solid performance in his first career win for Justin Fields. And, it was
how many passes? Like, I got to look at the stats, like the passing stats for this game again. Because they have 4 passes over 20 yards, I think, or was it 5?
You probably be better served knowing than me. I'm thinking he was like 12 of 18 on the day, and then I think about 5, 4 or 5.
Right. And how many did we have? Yards. How many did the Bears have? Just like all last season,
ain't it?
Man, it's just explosive plays. I mean, like you said, the stats don't really tell how well he played at the role of QB1, and he just did what he was supposed to do out there,
big time.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see: a good player, a good leader, and I think we have 5 passes over 20 yards. In one game. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Mahomes does that in one quarter. We're freaking out because he did it in one game. Right. Our bar of expectation is just so low here. But, it's baby steps here in Chicago. And when you see a quarterback with the ability that Justin Fields has, the IQ, the athleticism, just the total package, you just can't help but be excited week to week now with him as the starter. And we'll see how all that shakes out with Matt Nagy and his diabolical plans. And we'll play that here because after the game, Matt Nagy was asked about play calling from Bill Lazor.
First, keep it on a positive note.
Yeah, last week or yesterday, he says that if Dalton is still healthy, he's still the starter, which made everyone lose their mind. And then he was asked after the game about how Bill Lazor did calling plays or who was calling plays, and just listen to this long-winded answer that's just filled with insecurities from our head coach Matt Nagy.
That's real.
Who called the plays, and if there was a change, what impact it had on the game?
Yeah, so in regards to the play calling, Bill did a great job, and I think that at the same point in time, it's important that we understand that I felt good out there as a head coach, and that's real, but we all get together, we talk through how we're going to call the game. And we do that when I'm calling plays too. You know what I mean? Us as a staff, we get together. And so I think that that's important for everybody to know, is that when we build a game plan together, whether it's the offensive line coach with Juan or whether it's our tight ends coach or wide receiver coach, et cetera, we do it together. And in the end, I get a great opportunity to say, yes, I like this, or no, I don't, as the head coach, right? In charge of all that. That's real. Right. So when you do that, now I also go back to saying last week, right? Or this last week was, hey, whatever I need to do to try to be the best head coach for the Chicago Bears, whatever that is, I don't care. I just want us to have the best opportunity to win. And I feel like Bill did a great job today. Our players did a great job. Our coaching staff did a great job. And we played collectively together as a team, not just players, not just coaches, everybody. And when you have that, it's a good feeling. So we'll continue to just keep talking. We'll continue to but again, with all due respect, that it's going to be the last time I talk about it. Okay, with that.
With all due respect, and I mean this with all due respect.
That's real. Because when I'm calling plays, and that's real. It's a real thing. When I call, I hate when he goes off into these. Oh yeah, whether it's the wide receiver coaches or the tight end coaches or the running back coaches or the special team coach. Like, okay, we don't need you to name off every fucking position coach to get your damn answer across.
Right. Just say that Bill Lazor did a great job today.
Right.
And we're doing what's best for the team.
Yeah.
Bam. End of sentence. But
exactly.
He makes it so much about himself. And, Brian Sanchez says in chat, he thinks he lost the locker room. The Factor also brought that up. Feels like he's upset internally. Chubbs, I know, would echo this sentiment. He thinks that Nagy is Dalton Fields is showing him up, and that's why he wants to go back to Dalton. But whatever the case is, he's, the pride, the ego has taken a hit because he had to give up play calling duty for the second time in 2 seasons. For the second time, it was at the end of last year.
Well, within 10 games.
Right. It's the second time in the last 8 games, really.
Yeah, right,
and, it's like, to me, that's his biggest gripe. And you heard there was a big team meeting at the beginning of the week. Word is Nick Foles was very vocal in that meeting. And Justin Fields said in his presser that it brought the team together. Well, we weren't flies on the wall. We weren't in the room. We don't know what was said. But if there were some hard words said at Matt Nagy about his inability to call the game, because another big quote that I wish I would have pulled up in this show for today was Justin Fields talking about how calm Bill Lazor is when he's relaying the plays to him in his headset.
Right.
And that Matt Nagy isn't calm. And to me, it's like, that's damning words and kind of peels back the curtain to what the problem is or what the players see as the problem. You already heard guys like Marquise Goodwin and other players speaking out publicly about some of the problems with the play calling. Now Bill Lazor comes in. They call a very fluent game, get all the right protections in. Justin Fields looks good. It's not chaos. It's not one passing yard of offense. And it all looked right. Yes, it's against the Lions, so we'll have to see how they do against the Raiders.
But then for Matt Nagy for how many times we're going to say that.
Yeah, but then for Matt Nagy to come back yesterday and say, well, if Andy Dalton is healthy, he's still the starter. You're just begging for everyone to hate you. Like, why are you – like, it makes zero sense. And you can't justify it because Matt Nagy is in over his head if he's thinking that Andy Dalton gives him the best chance to win. Justin Fields gives you the best chance to win if you understand how to call the correct offense behind him. And beyond that, it's going to be tough for this team to win games over the next 4. Chubbs thinks, hey, why not win the next 4? Hey, why not? But, they'll be lucky to win 2 of these next 4 games, regardless of who the quarterback is. And to me, I'm going to want to play the future of my franchise. If I'm Matt Nagy, I'm thinking about the future because I'm in my head thinking I'm going to be the coach of this kid. I'm not trying to save my job by playing Andy Dalton. I want to develop Justin Fields and try to win as many games as I possibly can with him at the same time. But he's already kind of put himself behind the 8 ball with that because he didn't play him in the preseason, didn't play him at training camp, so they're just not on the same page. Well, that's your own doing. You made that bed. So, but you can't have him go out there. You can't have Justin Fields go out there and make the plays that he did and see the way the team reacts to him and then go back to Andy Dalton. There is no going back. Unless Justin Fields completely falls apart and the next 3 games look like the Browns game, you got to continue to play this kid and build off of this momentum. Steve Young echoed these sentiments. He only can learn so much from the bench. You got to be able to build off of what you just did against the Lions on the Lakefront. Look how excited that team was. You're not going to get that level of energy. No disrespect to Andy Dalton. Nice guy, family man, the whole bit. You got to play the kid and let this team grow from there. That's, to me, my assessment of it. But what do I know? I'm just a fan of the stands.
Yeah, because it was crazy. I said I actually liked Andy Dalton's game, but it just doesn't make sense when you have a generational talent like Justin Fields, and just to say he's not ready. I mean, it's your job to get him ready. Are you ready?
Right.
Because Matt Nagy apparently isn't ready. To call plays for any quarterback, let alone Justin Fields. Somebody that brings that dynamic and duality to the quarterback position. So I don't think Matt Nagy's ready for Justin Fields. So that's why he doesn't want to put him out there, because he's probably going to look bad calling plays for him. I mean, he's not going to utilize his skill set, and it's sad. It's like it's what's crazy. It's confusing and crazy at the same time.
It's Will.
Yes, it is, Will.
No, we gotta go here soon, Will.
Hold on,
You bringing him on? Oh my God!
Hold on, Will. Right in the middle of a sentence. What was my point?
He called me like I'm gonna be able to bring him on. He doesn't understand how this works on StreamYard. Like, you can
right,
come
we
on
could actually
via
bring
video.
you on as a guest.
So he's calling in. He's gonna make this show go another hour. And
I definitely can. Yeah,
Trae has to go in 15 minutes, Will. So you better not talk too much here. And I know that's impossible to even ask, but here is our guy Will calling in once again to Brags in the Stands and Trae Tunes here, live talking Bears. How are we doing today, Will?
Will, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, well, the crazy part is I don't think he can hear you, Brags.
Uh-oh.
I think he'll be able to hear me. If we send you the link, can you just come on so you won't be able to hear Brags talk? So you just laugh.
Let him say. You don't have to hear me. Let him say whatever he's gonna say. Just tell him to talk.
Let's go ahead and talk. Say what you got to say.
Let me know. Let me know if you guys can. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but you won't be able to hear Brags.
No, I can't hear. I can't hear Brax. I can hear him.
You can hear Brags?
You can hear.
Yeah,
him,
man.
Will?
I can hear. Even if Brax moves to Alaska, I can hear this guy.
So you can hear me right now, Will.
Maybe he's still watching. So maybe that's how he can hear you. Maybe, I'm guessing.
He can't hear me. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think you're right.
No, I can hear Brax. Can you hear?
Will,
Brax, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I cannot hear Brax right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
Right, that's what.
Some producer this guy is.
Tell Brax I want to do the three-way. So
you want to do a three-way?
Damn, Will. I knew that. I know the spoon session is coming up. Somebody, oh my God, Will, you're killing me.
Is he calling you now?
Yes, he's calling me.
He's calling you on three-way.
He's calling me. He's calling you. Ask him if he wants to come on video.
Just do the video link.
Hey, Brax, Brax, man, he's Brax and Ghost, I want to give a shout out to Ghost. He's been checking on me, and he's a freaking awesome dude. Ghost. I promised. I told my wife, I'm not gonna be calling. I'm like, all right, but I'm listening.
And then he
to
does it
Brax.
anyway. That's exactly what he called me about.
Brax is not letting
said
me
he's
talk,
done
man.
calling in. He says,
all right, so Brax is sending me the link to join in.
All right, tell him I sent him the link. Tell him to quit talking.
I'll join in right now.
Brax sent you the link.
Tell him I sent him the link.
Yeah.
Tell him to quit talking.
Click on the link.
Yeah. So hold on, let me get.
All right. Well, we're trying to get through this before Trae has to go. So
I need to put my game face on.
And if anybody else wants to come on, you're welcome to come on. But I ain't staying on all night. I want to watch the Bulls.
All right, then. So let me press the link and I call back.
All right. Goodbye.
Don't call back. Click on the link, Will.
I mean,
Shut up. Just hang up on him. Tell him he's got the link.
Yeah, because I can barely hear you. I got the headphones on for the show.
Hang up on him. Hang up on him. Hang up on him. He's got the link.
All right, just click on the link, all right?
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
All right. So We appreciate you, capitalistic czar, and more crossovers to come. You know, whenever our schedules line up, we try to do shows when we can. Trae and I, we're trying to lift as we climb together, doing our things. Trae Tunes show and the Brags in the Stands. Crossovers are always some of my favorite times here on the streams. So Will's got the StreamYard link. He's about to come in. Taco Grease says he wants to go in. So if you guys want,
call next. Don't call.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Taco Grease. If you want to text me right now, and I'll send you the link.
Faye's calling me now,
and you can come in. Good God! All right. So while Faye is calling in, I'll play some of the final clips. This is Justin Fields' victory formation as the starter of the Chicago Bears.
I'll give you July 5. I'll take you.
With Will, but I just did this so I can make you laugh.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Faye? How are you?
Just mess with us. Hold on. I can't. All right, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
All right,
Don't you dare worry about it. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Hey, girl.
Later, Faye. That was Faye.
Yeah, Faye's
one of our
awesome.
favorite callers. She probably couldn't hear me either.
All right, yeah, she couldn't. Yeah, you're right.
So there was Justin Fields' victory formation. Cool to see. And then, of course, Justin Fields getting interviewed and then heading over to Club Dub here. Bears win.
Yeah, he's giving away the towel. What a good guy.
Gave away the towel to a kid.
Yeah.
Chubbs thinks I should have knocked that kid over for the towel. I was on the other side, or I probably would have. Breaking news from the Factor. Jalen Smith, just released by the Cowboys, former Fighting Irish, had a catastrophic knee injury his final game at Notre Dame, and then was able to bounce back and get himself a nice contract with the Cowboys, but just released by the Cowboys. So that's a pretty big cut there.
Yeah,
Chubbs wants to know if I beat up that little kid for taking my towel. I didn't get a chance to get over to his section, or I probably would have. Everyone knows that's my stadium. Those are my sections. And if there's any gifts being given out, they go to me.
Right.
And then if I choose to
bring
give out
Addy to a game with that smile,
that's true.
Yeah, you got to bring Addy to a game.
I must start using Addy to get my stuff now that I'm too old to get it. You're right.
Use those kids while they're young and cute, and you can still hold them like this and like, hey, give my child. Yeah.
So maybe we'll get through these before Will's smart enough to get on. And then we can just go before he gets on. He calls me last night and says, Braggs, man, I can't come on no more. I love you guys.
One day later.
I can't come on no more. And then there he is, first show coming back on. It's like, how did I know that wasn't going to be true? So, Will, never a dull moment with Triggered Will. I can't call in no more, Greg. My wife says that I'm doing it too much, but then the first time you do a show, I'm calling it.
Yeah, he's calling you on freeway right there on the phone. Taking a picture.
Yes. Hey, if me and Sylvia are fighting over foul balls, I'm winning that fight. He's got too small of hands. I'll take him down. I'll take him down to Chinatown. Hey, if you catch a foul ball on the fly, that ball is yours. You don't have to give it to a kid. Now, if you catch it off a bounce or if somebody throws you a ball, those balls should go to a little kid because who cares? But if you catch a ball on the fly, that's yours. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's my rule. So, fuck them kids, right? That's what they say. So here was some funny stuff. Little Staley the Bear stand-up comedy routine. Here it is.
First and 10 for the Bears on the Lions' 46-yard line. lines out of your yard.
I'm like, put up a goal.
How do you keep lions out of your yard? Put up goalposts, make an end zone. They'll never get in there. Chubbs wants me to give a shout out to his daughter, Madison. How you doing, Madison? My daughter's name is Addison. So maybe one day Madison and Addison can meet up. Big Dollar Dave has a personal request, and anytime anybody ever asks me for this, ask and you shall receive.
Son of a
And I'm sorry, like they're giving Leno way too much grief.
Screw you guys! I'm going home.
Well, don't be embarrassed, Madison. We're only having fun over here at Brags in the Stands. You got a good dad, your man Chubbs. We know him as Chubbs. You know him as Dad or Pops, but as I call my dad. But Chubbs is a good man, so you're lucky to have him as your dad. Be nice to him. Soften up that heart of his. Because he's a tough character. That dad of yours. So shout out to Madison once again. She said she's embarrassed, so I thought I'd embarrass her a little more. Trey doing the Carlton all day long.
And I'm sorry, like they're giving Leno way too much grief.
Trey, I love
I just gotta embrace it now, huh?
Yeah, you definitely do. It literally never gets old. It was a fun day, Tal. Had a lot of fun meeting everybody. We need to do more meetups here in the future. But that was a good time. Never gets old. I agree.
Yeah, do y'all want to try to do something before it gets cold?
Well, like I said, I put out an invite to you
for the Halloween party.
And I'm having a little soiree / housewarming party the day before Halloween. Halloween's on a Sunday. I'm having the soiree on the Saturday of the day before Halloween. So if for those of you that are tuning in that want to come to my humble abode for my housewarming party,
welcome to my humble abode.
Send me a DM or send me a text if you have my number, and I'll vet you. And if you pass the vetting process, then you can come over to my house. Some people already came over for week 1 of the NFL season. We had a lot of fun that day, and I would be happy to host people that want to come by and hang out, watch some college football, celebrate Addison's favorite holiday, Halloween. So if you want to dress up, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to have a costume, so get ready for that. So be on the lookout for that. But that is, I'm having a party that day. Not necessarily a Trae Tunes show meetup. It's more of a housewarming party for the Brags residents. But anybody's welcome that I consider a friend. So send me a DM or shoot me a text if you're interested in coming over. Trey got the invite. Send some other people that are friendly to this show got the invite. And, of course, I sent Will an invite. We'll see if Will can come. No pressure to anybody, but
except Will.
Yeah,
Will's gonna bring a bunch of spoons.
Taco grease. You're gonna have to text me, and I'll send you the address.
Type it in right
this time. You'll actually get the correct address. You're a region rat, so you're definitely invited, my friend. Just send me a text, and I'll get you that address. We're getting shout out requests all over the place. Brian Sanchez wants me to give a shout out to his lovely wife, Kendra. Kendra, how are you doing today?
And I'm sorry, like
it's the shout out dancing. You got the horns and the dancing shout outs.
Right.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Some of the other fun things you saw Staley the Bear, some of the other things that caught my eye at the game. I'm always trying to catch as much as I can. Fans in the stands. Nothing was funnier than these nuns at one point. They made the Jumbotron, and I put in the caption, every little bit helps. If we got to get the nuns there for prayer, that helped, obviously helped the win. We need to start sending these ladies to each game so we can get the win from above.
It's so funny. How many nuns are up there? And what's cracking in a nun suite?
Yeah, and then the guy, is this guy like covering his face to the right? Is he embarrassed by the nuns? Like, I don't know if that was just a happenstance because of at the time I took the picture, maybe he's sneezing, but I'm not sure. But it was really funny. But yeah, the nuns get the skybox suite, living large over there.
Yeah. Like how? All right. Like, could you sit in a suite with a bunch of nuns and enjoy the game?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were getting drunk up there. I don't know, drinking up on that wine. They were probably up there turning water into wine and getting drunk off that shit, you know?
And it's like, cause it's like, right. I'll curse too much. Like if I'm like, damn it! It's like I'll be trying to
slap your hand with a ruler.
Right. Oh my God! I don't think I can. I don't think they would want me up there. Get this heathen out of our suite. Or however nuns talk.
Well, Brian, like I said, reach out to me through Twitter or Facebook, DM me, text me, and let me know. Trying to get all my ducks in a row. Just put out the invites to family and friends yesterday. So, you know, but yeah, we're you know, I'm a everybody loves everybody, try to bring the people together kind of guy. So let me know if you're interested in come. Bear Truth 9 finally shows up to the show. You're late, so you better watch this show on delay. Oh my God, here is our guy Will. There he is. There's Will.
Right on, not on time.
Yeah, right on, not on time. He's very serious.
Right,
now.
like smile, Will. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. You put me right away.
He's very serious right now.
Right, you look just like that picture right there. You're like, Will is here. He's like,
oh my gosh. Well,
sorry, guys. Sorry, man. Sorry. I'm sorry. Man. First of all, man, shout out, and I appreciate your love and everything. I just been going through a lot. We spoke with you yesterday, right, Bax, and told you a little bit about it. I texted you, Trey. You're always busy.
You didn't text me.
I texted. Who am I texting then? I texted
you. You called me, but you didn't text me.
I did text you.
Let me see. I will look again, man.
Yeah, I texted you, man.
I don't think so. This happened before on the show.
Shit. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing, right?
Damn, bro. Like, I thought I sent it.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
you're right.
So the text wasn't sent, but go ahead with your soliloquy, Will.
All right, you know,
soliloquy. Now he's speechless.
I know. This is the first time I've ever seen him speechless. You got a question in the chat.
It's a lot, man. You know,
you got a question in the chat, Will, from Capitalistic Czar. He wants to know if you have one shirt that fits you.
Well, yeah, this one does. Look, you know.
Yeah, it does kind of fit. You see a little bit of wrinkles, like it's a little.
Yeah, man. I'm, getting to the late 40s, late 30s. So it's like even if that's what I try to tell people. Even if you fast and if you do your workout, it's always it's hard. Like you don't see what the movies tell you, but it's always you're always gonna have a little bit of because it's natural. Sure. You just feel natural. Be what be you.
Oh my gosh! Well, you are a natural, and we always enjoy when you come on. So we're glad that you came back on here for Braggs and Sessions.
Yeah, my wife was telling me, he's like, "Are you making any money out of it?" And I'm like, I'm not, but it is
therapeutic.
And also like I try to give people advice and doing a couple of things here, and hopefully they listen to me. Hopefully they at least think about what I'm saying, you know, because as a person that immigrated, you know, my whole story, everybody probably knows about it, that came here and did his thing. There's always a chance for you to succeed, you know. So, you know, I try to put that out there, man.
Well,
you know,
very
just
nice
much
of you. But
more.
you know, one thing I will push back at, you know, that is very nice of you, giving good advice. Nothing better than sage advice. But one thing I will say that's better than money is friendship, you know, and I think we have a true friendship and a true bond here.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and then that's what, you know, I enjoy about me. Me and Trae have formed a really close friendship over the last year, and I value that a lot. I mean, he's talked to me at times, you know, when you know, I really needed those talks. And Will last night we had a nice deep conversation.
Yeah, we have a nice yep.
You know, and those things are invaluable. You can't put a price tag on those. So you know, hey, your boy
Chops, you love Chops, like that's my hair, bro. That's my hair. You know?
I think he's saying figuratively, not literally in your head. But
I know.
Taco Grease said he bought uranium because Will told him to. So
yeah, bro. That you did it smart, and I guarantee you're gonna make some money in a couple of years. And I'm not saying that. And I told a lot of people, and I hope everybody did it. I think the only one that didn't do it is probably Trae.
Yeah,
by Ukraine.
I don't know how to buy uranium. That's why.
Yeah, well, it's uranium stocks.
Uranium, yeah, bro. It's a good
thing that was clarified.
Bunch of
I guess I have some uranium.
Yeah, it's not like Homer Simpson uranium. Like it's just the stock market.
Like it's coming in the mail.
Yeah, it's different. I know it's hard, but. You know, when you get to a point that you work a lot, we're not in that stage that we have to save. We're in the stage that we have to trade and we have to invest.
I'm gonna go buy some uranium right now. I have the Acorns app. Yeah. Can you buy it through the Acorns app?
No, you can buy it for Voyager is all crypto. But you can buy it through the WhatsApp. I'm sorry, not the Cash App.
Okay, I got
Cash App. Yeah, that's simple, right? That's what I send you. The money that I send you every month, Trae.
Capitalistic Czar says kryptonite is all he invests in. So you know, it's safe. You're safe against Superman.
Yeah, that's good.
Chubbs wants to know if he can buy uranium on Robinhood.
I would not trust Robinhood, to tell you the truth. I never trusted Robinhood even before what happened. I would never trust in Robinhood. I would never trust in Robinhood.
Okay.
Even before what happened, no.
Okay. Well, this conversation is way over my head, but while you're on, Will, I want to share some stuff
right now.
Why do you want to share?
Some of the cool moments.
You can't see it because it's green.
We had some cool moments here at the Bears game, and one of them was you know, your boy here, Braggs, got on ABC7.
Right.
They did a news spot, and they played it a couple times, so I want to share it with the audience, and I'm sure Chubbs will have some jokes about it.
Arlington Heights. Here's Jesse Kirsch.
That's where they need to be, right here. For decades, this has been home for the Chicago Bears, but that may soon change after the team signed a purchase and sale agreement with the owners of Arlington Park. Before kickoff against the Detroit Lions today, LaTanya and Cynthia Horton trying to play defense against the move.
I'm hoping they come up with some solution where they can better the stadium and it's where they can stay.
Other fans like Greg Braggs are all in on the idea.
If we could get a whole, you know, Bears Landia with, you know, casinos and hotels and sports book and parking lots, and it would be the best thing for everybody involved, Bears players and fans included.
He's especially interested in seeing state-of-the-art amenities, which he hopes will make it easier easier to take in the game as opposed to what he does now at Soldier Field.
I don't go to the bathroom. I don't get food because you'll miss a solid portion of the game, even if you try to go at halftime.
That's not to say he won't miss the iconic Lakefront Stadium.
To see the columns, see how this place was put together, I love it.
Some fans worried about losing more than just the familiar backdrop.
When you go bigger, you go more commercial. And so I just hope that they keep the family, the close tightness of the Chicago Soldier Field.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot's office says she's committed to keeping the storied franchise in the city. Some fans we spoke with say even if the Monsters of the Midway do move to Arlington Heights, they should still be called the Chicago Bears, an homage to the city, even if the gridiron is somewhere else. From Soldier Field, Jesse Kirsch, ABC 7, Eyewitness News.
There it is.
Nice.
Bragg's on ABC 7.
Bragg's
Chicago.
on the screen.
Wow. They literally threw you under the bus right now, Bragg's. They have they did? Yes, bro. I've been in advertising. I work through that. I work to see what the media say. They show one white guy saying that they want the party, the casinos, and then you have minorities going like, oh, you know what? We love the city. You know, it's you know, it's such a bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. And don't put my boy Greg Braggs, and you can put that in your video. Don't put my Greg Braggs into this freaking situation that he has to literally. They're like, oh yeah, look at that, because he's white. That's why he's going on. No, that's fucking bullshit. And I think Trae, me as you as minorities, that's some bullshit move.
Yeah, because I totally
and
agree
then
with
not even that, they put two lesbians on the fucking show.
You don't know if
Saying like, oh yeah, we love it. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't fucking play with that shit. I don't play with that shit. Don't bring me with that bullshit.
I think you're reading a little too much into it. They didn't know what I was gonna say.
I'm reading into it the way it is, brother.
Chubbs thinks I was harassing the producers to get on TV, saying I was
maybe you
walking
were
by all night.
because
they were setting up their cameras. I was walking up to the front of the stadium looking for somewhere to charge.
The shot of you walking up.
I don't expect anything worse than you, bro, because you're white. So fuck it, you know. I don't expect anything worse.
White.
I expect the worst from you.
Brax is white here. You know, we got.
I expect the worst from you, Brax. You know, it doesn't even surprise me. You know,
this is the most diverse show on Twitch right now.
This is a very diverse show with diverse opinions.
Right.
And Brian Sanchez wants to know what the hell you're talking about, but we're having fun.
I mean, now that he pointed it out, I do see. I mean, but it's like. It's like I try not to even you know what's sad is that Will might be right about because all of that is edited.
Feed the beast.
No, but think about it. Like
that's so stupid.
I get
Come
what
on,
he's saying.
bro.
I get what he's saying.
Are you serious?
Pushing for casinos
come on. You're like Brian, like casinos and do this, and then the other guy's like, no.
Stay in the city. I get your point, but at the same time,
no. But the other
after the interview was over,
they play minorities saying, "Oh no, it's for the city," and then they play you. Oh, casinos. Money.
Yeah, but again, they didn't know what I was going to say. And when I did the interview, they said you were the guy doing the camera said you were our first interview and it'll probably be the best one of the day. And I talked for them for like 2 minutes. So they cut up what I said to them.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot to it. And I was just very energetic. And I told them, that I have a show called Brags in the Stands. So I'm the perfect guy to echo. When they told me what they wanted to ask me, I said, oh, this is perfect because my show is about going in the stands. And so I don't think it was malicious intent. I don't think ABC, but I understand that media.
Dude. Come on, bro. No, you're living in a fantasy world.
I'm just telling you, I don't believe
no, it is, bro. It is. They clearly manipulate.
They had a white lady at the end say that
it doesn't matter,
it doesn't matter. To go against your point, they had a white lady at the end say that she didn't want the Bears to get commercialized. So that goes against your conspiracy theory here. So I get what you're trying to angle at, but I think you're reading too much and you're reaching a little bit here. You're reaching a little bit.
No. I'm being truthful.
Now Trae
I'm being truthful.
Well, you and Trae might be able to speak to this better than me because you guys came from tougher upbringings than I did. But I do believe that you're right in that the Bears moving to Arlington Heights will be harder for minorities in the city to go to Bears games. You know, you'll be able to take the train, but just the cost and the time that it takes to get up there as opposed to the Bears being right downtown, right next to where they live. I can see that point. For me, it will take, it takes me 30 minutes to get to Soldier Field now. It'll take 2 hours to get to it in Arlington Heights.
But
you know what? Minorities don't even
Bears game in any other city. Like if you've been to Dallas and been to that's what won me over, experiencing another stadium. So not everybody got to experience another stadium like I did. So that's what won me over. When I went to, I think it's called Arlington in Texas, Arlington Heights. Yeah. So when I went there, and I'm like, oh my God, it's
amazing.
It's just so wide open, the parking and
it's easy because that's what they asked me.
So easy.
They pushed back on me. They said when they talked about the amenities when they did it for the show.
Yeah.
In the interview, they said, well, why are you worried about just the amenities? Aren't you worried about the game, watching the game? And I said, well, the amenities have a big effect on the game experience because to go to the bathroom, it takes an hour to go get a burger or pizza and a drink takes a whole quarter. You miss a whole quarter of football if you walk away. Even if you try to leave at halftime to try to go to the bathroom or get something to eat or drink, you'll miss a portion of the game. So to me, it will enhance your game watching experience to go to Arlington Heights because when I went to London or I went to Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium, it takes 2 seconds to get some food and get back to your seat. And even Wrigley Field with the accommodations they've upgraded at, it's quicker now to go to the bathroom or get something to eat. So that was my reasoning behind it. So, I think they chopped it up. Chubbs and you guys are in this conspiracy theory. But again, if we play the telecast again, what they just showed, the little bit, they had a white lady say that she didn't want the Bears to get commercialized. So both of you
right. So hear me out, right? So now you have the White Sox guaranteed field in the middle of the hood. And you have a bunch of people that goes to the game, and 80% of that people are white. They're not black or Hispanic, whatever the hell it is.
Well, right? It's not really to be honest, that's not really the hood. I mean, it is the South Side, but
it is the hood, bro. It is the hood. It's turning not to be the hood. It is turning now. It's not turning into the hood.
I mean, that was the plan all along to make it look like it was the hood, so they can buy all the real estate up real cheap, and then and now they can. I mean, if you see how the schools and stuff over there are built up, the neighborhoods real nice. Like the further down 35th Street you go, even all the way down to the beach, it's so nice over there.
Rainbow Beach.
No, it's not Rainbow Beach. We're gonna go to Rainbow Beach one day. It's just settled.
Yeah, we got
to watch real Tony Montana be the only one to not show up.
And then Will, you also mentioned that
imagine this guy at Rainbow Beach.
You also mentioned that you didn't like how they put
that's the phrase that Bryce will do.
You like how they didn't put Bears? They put Bears fan instead of
dude. They should have put your name, Brax, in the stands. That's just that's so messed up, bro. That's so messed up, man.
I like identifying as a fan. We got enough media.
Yeah, no, but you have your own show.
I'm a true
no, but that's not. You know what I'm saying? Like you have all these followers, and they watch your show, and you have like a lot of like thousands of likes. They cannot put you as a Bears fan, bro, like that. They have to respect you a little bit, man. Come on.
Respect it. Well, another media outlet that I made was in the Chicago Tribune. Look at that. Will, I'm looking kind of flexed out here. My face is looking
bro.
chubby.
It looks like your boob is falling down your right side.
I know. I need to get my ass back to the gym.
So that was an actual thing.
This was in the Chicago Tribune on their website. It reads.
Let me show you. Let me show you some. Let me show you a workout that you can fix that.
Well, yeah, no shit. Any workout would help.
Dumbbells to the middle.
I was real slim in the summer. I gained it all back, but
hey Trey, I see you.
The Justin Fields fan waits for the start of the game between the Chicago Bears and Georgetown. I told Chris Swada, who's credited with this picture in the Tribune, I go, God damn, man, give a man a heads up. You could have got my slimmer side or let me know, and everybody always gives me shit because I'm always, look at me, I'm locked into Twitter. I'm tweeting out, giving the people what they want. And I also have to give
that out.
Yeah. And I also have to give the Tailgate Show a shout out. My guy Double A, he photoshopped it. You know how I'm big on the riots now.
Indiana man plans to riot.
Indiana man plans riot against his favorite football team. That should have been the headline.
The riot thing is becoming a thing now.
It really is. We've got a shirt you can buy on our Brags in the Stand store. And there it is right there.
Oh my God!
Yep,
Fireman, I get what we write. Oh shit!
You can buy it.
Oh
there.
man! If he doesn't get fired, and then you go to camp next year, it's gonna be awkward.
It might be awkward.
It's awkward now.
I'm willing to take the risk.
You see his post?
It's a tongue in cheek. I'm rooting for Matt to turn it around, but. I know.
Hell no! Why? Oh my God! You guys are still.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him to turn around. Get over it.
All right, guys. So everybody's like, "Oh my God, the Bears win." Justin Fields. This is what I want to see. Justin Fields is the true guy, man. He made some plays that only good quarterbacks can make, right? Like one of the Hall of Famers. But come on, bro. You cannot tell me the Lions literally. Bro, they were on the 10-yard line. They were in the third yard line. They couldn't score, and they did it. We were lucky to win against the Lions.
Okay, well that's football, and
right? Like people mess up plays all the time, like.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
It just sounds like a guy that's afraid. It just sounds like
zero wins.
It just sounds like a guy afraid to spoon with Brags here. 4 more wins from now. That's all this is.
That's why you play the game, Will. I mean,
I see zero wins the next 7.
The Jets.
You didn't see them beat the Bengals either. So what do you know? And so appreciate you, Brian Sanchez. You can get all of custom-made Bears shirts on
just
Brags.
So everybody knows, I'm 100% on my picks of the Bears this year.
Really good job. I lost the one against. I predicted with my heart against the Browns and not with my head, and I got that one wrong.
Yeah, I thought I took the Bears. So
well, you're the curse then, Will. More
for your takes.
More gear you can get at the Brags in the Stand shop. We just came out with this new line of Bear the Fuck Down sweatshirts and T-shirts. You can get the PG. You can get the PG version. You're pointing the wrong. Yeah, there you go. I see you're pointing to the logo. And then you can get the shirt and you can get them all in different colors and hoodies or shirts, however you want to get them. But go to Brags in the Stands on teespring.com. Search Brags in the Stands and you can get whatever you need, all sorts of apparel. But I was making the rounds. Chicago Tribune. I was on ABC7. Hogan John shouting me out. I don't know if you guys saw. I know this is a football show here today, but I even made the Cubs Marquee Network put out a video and I made the video.
And I'm like, what the? I watched that too. I'm like, what?
Did you see it? How cool was that?
I watched it. It was like, it was up and down.
I couldn't believe it. A couple people sent me the link, and I was
thank you. I'm like, what?
Dude, that was badass.
Marquee Network official. What's wrong with the Marquee Network? No,
nothing. I'm totally cool with them if they're going to put my shit out there.
What I was surprised is like back in the day, I saw you, Brags, with the picture, man. You like really big, and you slim down. I know you're drinking your whiskey there. Don't say you're not.
This is water. I know. I slimmed down. I'm like a roller coaster ride. My buddy Mikey, who's my trainer, he's been a good friend of mine. He's a bodybuilder. He gets very frustrated with me because I do really well. I'll lose 35, 40 pounds. Then I let go of the rope. Then I get back on the horse. Then I let go of the rope and I go back and forth. It's very hard to keep the weight off.
Put the rope around the horse.
Yeah, and that's why, friends of guys like you, Will, who stay committed. David Kaplan, he works out every morning. It's not easy. It's a real commitment.
Look, I'm gonna show you. Send you a picture, and you can show it to people. It's even like with me working out all this time. I was in the Marines and I was in everything. Even with me working out like that, you still have a little fudge and everything. It's unrealistic unless you take fudge. I have a little some here.
Oh, okay.
And I wanna share that out to everybody, and I'm gonna send this picture to Brax right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And even when you have that, you're like, oh damn. People will tell you, oh damn, you have a little thing here. But I'm like, man, what else can you do? Like it's you have to feel better about yourself when you work out. Don't think about nobody else. Think about yourself being fit, being healthy. Because the next person is gonna think that you're this and you're that, and then you're gonna see every inch or every part of your body is gonna bother you. Don't be like that. I sent this picture. So I have a couple of friends that are like, man, you gotta work. I'm like, no, like I'm doing what I'm doing.
Sure.
I can.
You gotta be you, as Matt Nagy would say. You gotta
be you. You know what I'm saying? Did you get that picture?
No, I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. Trae is just a few moments from exiting the chat. He's got to go off to do his karaoke gig. So Trae, I'm gonna give you the floor and let you get your final words in before I wrap up the show with Will, since he's extended our show by a solid 30 minutes. Go ahead and hit it, Trae. Give us your final thoughts on the Chicago Bears and everything we covered here today.
Okay, I thought, the win against the Lions was a good team win, and, they came together, played well as a team, gave a good effort. Play calling was on point. Execution was there for the most part. Like to see them clean a few things up. Just expand on offense a little bit. Defense gave a good effort. Gave up a lot of, yards on the ground, but, they bend but didn't break. And that's important, that they, still stuck in there. So I'm excited to see what they do in the future. And, hopefully Justin Fields will remain a starter. But with our head coach, who knows? And that's the only real disappointing take I have is coming from Matt Nagy, our head coach. It's a really big disappointment. I talked to Waddle about him yesterday. We had a little talk. I was like, do you think it's fixable with him? And he just shook his head like, no, this dude is so far gone, his ego, and it's like, I don't think he can be fixed. Do you even still want somebody like this to be a part of the team? Because it's so toxic. It's crazy. So
how he handles the Fields thing is going to be big on him keeping the respect of the locker room if he hasn't already lost it.
Right. Yeah. I think if anything, the players probably still respect and like him more than the fans do. But once they start to, the more they have these team meetings and everybody's voicing their opinions and stuff, and allowing to be heard without criticism and stuff like that, you're gonna hear. And shout out to Nick Foles for even saying anything, because he's a third string quarterback who could easily be like, man, I'm just here for the check. I won a Super Bowl, whatever. But still, he went out there and said something, which is I think is pretty dope of him. That shows that he even still cares about this team. Even though he's the third string quarterback, he's a Super Bowl MVP, and he could easily, very easily, just lean up against the wall and just fall into the background, say, hey, just cut me or trade me or whatever. But he spoke up and said some things that helped bring the team together, which says a lot about Nick Foles. So.
Hey, listen here, Sparkles. You're listening to the Trae Tunes Show right here on Twitch. And if you're not, you're better than that. Get with the program. Take that. This is David Kaplan. Rock and roll, baby. The Trae Tunes Show, one of my all-time favorites.
And you can watch the Trae Tunes Show live only on Twitch on weekdays, 12 to 2 p.m. Central, talking sports and playing hits and giving some fun insight like he just did right there and putting up with guys like Will on a daily basis. And that is the thing, Trae. That's the magic that Trae wields, is bringing us crazy clowns together. So shout out to you, Trae, and appreciate you coming on with me here and breaking all this stuff down.
That is awesome.
And thank you. Yeah. And thank you for bringing Will into my life, because if it wasn't for you, I would not know this man. Thank you. So we'll let you go, Trae. If you got a jet, I know you got to get to work.
The helicopter is already in the roof, Trae.
Right,
Trae, would you like to set an over-under on how fast I can end this show after you're gone before you go?
98 minutes.
98 minutes is the over-under.
No.
Thanks a lot, Trae. We'll talk to you here soon.
Love you, Trae.
We'll do a show as soon as possible.
I'll text you. Hopefully I can get you.
Yeah, are you actually going to text me?
He ignores your text, Will.
Yeah,
you didn't send it.
I know. Sorry, brother. Love you.
All right, Trae, get to work. We'll talk to you here soon, brother.
All right.
That is Trae Tunes from the Trae Tunes Show. And then there were two. Carmen's pounding the over on the over-under just set by Trae. Brian Sanchez wants Trae to know to have a good night. And we're getting to we're winding down. We're rounding third here. The Bulls are on. Nobody ruin it for me.
Oh my God! All right, the champion.
Shut up! I want to watch them. It's the first game of the new era.
Everybody, let's go and riot for the Bulls.
Yeah,
man.
it's exciting. It's the start of a new
I
era.
love it how you all love to drink the Kool-Aid and on everything.
Oh my God! You just
Somebody
can't
that's
live
right.
a little. Have some fun. It's the start of a new era.
I live in reality.
No,
I live in reality. You guys live in.
It's just because an optimist lives in reality just as much as a pessimist.
No, an optimist does not live in reality.
That's not true. You can be optimistic and still be realistic.
No,
yes,
you can. Yeah, you can be optimistic.
Yes.
No. This is a big difference. Optimistic is something that you think you can make it happen.
No, it's being able to look at things in a positive light. You can also still understand the reality of things while remaining positive.
Okay.
Just because you're pessimistic and you're hedging does not mean that you're more realistic. Dan Wiederer and me have sparred about this a few times, always labeling himself as a realist when most of his takes are pessimistic.
No, it's not pessimistic. It's actually taking facts and using and writing into a blog.
A pessimist always thinks they have fact and reality, and I will push back on this
until
the day I die. A pessimist will miss things. A pessimist will say, "Oh, the Cubs will never win a World Series," and then when they do, they'll say, "Well, I had to believe it."
But you see, you're going too far. There, you're going too far.
It's the truth.
No, you're going too far. Like for example, now let's say right now I'm thinking that the Cubs are going to be. They're gonna kill it next year. I think the Cubs can make it to
now.
the.
Who's being the optimist here?
So big, because. But let me give you a couple of facts here that they are gonna go for a free agency. They are gonna get loaded because they have the channel that nobody watches, so they need the views. So they're gonna sign a lot of people, and I'm thinking. Believe me, they're probably going to sign Castellanos.
Okay, well, I mean, those are
Castellanos. They might sign Rizzo back, but Rizzo is feeling good in New York, so I don't know if he's going to come back.
Let's go back to the foundation of this argument, because As Chubbs points out in the chat, if you can't be optimistic, it's because you're excluding the possibility that you're ever wrong. And I agree with him. A pessimist can be just as wrong as an optimist. And Dan Weeder, look at him. All he ever talked about.
Chops, hold on. Let me address the Chops. Chops, that's beautiful wording that can be turned around to the same way. It's different.
That's not true.
When it's different. No, it's not true.
I'm optimistic, but I can concede the fact that
no,
I'm
but
wrong
the problem is that you go overboard.
A pessimist thinks they're never wrong. A pessimist thinks they always live in realism, and that anything they say is grounded.
No, that's not right. No.
It's the truth.
See, so you calling me a pessimist? I'm not a pessimist. I'm a guy that want.
A pessimist never wants to identify as one. They always want to just call themselves a realist. And that's you. There's no such thing.
I'm a realist.
There's no such thing.
Prove me wrong. For the last years,
because you're gonna eventually be. You're a realist, and you said the Bears.
But I've been proven right, though. I've been proven right for the last years.
I've been proven literally said the Bears were going to lose to the Bengals, and we all were living in the clouds.
Yeah, I said 21-20 Bengals. And I said maybe.
So there's your realistic point of view. Your realistic point of view steered you in the wrong direction because you couldn't be optimistic and look at something on the bright side and try to see the light in understanding how the Bears could beat the Bengals. That's how a pessimist misses things. The Bears in 2018. I told anybody.
How do I miss that? So you're telling me right now that I'm missing this? You're missing, like, you literally are telling me that see, like right now, because everybody watched those Bears beat the Lions, everybody's like, yeah, let's go.
Come on now.
Hell no. You guys are doing that right now. And that's just a bunch of BS, bro.
No.
That's a bunch of BS, man. That's just like straight up like BS because the Lions they literally were on the 5-yard line, 10-line yard, and they turned the ball over to the Bears, and they couldn't score.
Okay, well, listen.
Come on,
Brian Sanchez says I won the argument, so we're on to the next topic, and that's that. An optimist and a pessimist can be just as wrong, just as much. And exactly, I can go all day with a realist or a pessimist because I just will not subscribe to the theory that you cannot live in reality while also being optimistic. I will die on that hill. So before we take this show,
of course I'm going to take your side, man, because this is your show.
This is Brad's in the stands. You're in my house now, baby.
I'm with Brad. How can he lose the argument? I'm with Brad. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I gotta defend my boy Braggs, man. Come on, man. Get off your horse, man.
Welcome to Braggs in the Stands. I'm with my guy Will Dutan. Wrapping up this show. He's triggered. We got him triggered. You got to find a way. Chubbs never takes my side for one, so that is.
But this is BS. You're taking a bad Bears team. They literally suck. Like they.
Well, speaking of who
come on, guys. I mean, Justin Fields was the only highlight.
All right. Well, speaking of who sucks, there is a certain team that does suck.
Green Bay sucks. 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 Let's go. Bears win.
I love it, man. I cannot stand Green Bay, man. I respect this guy, but man, I hate Green Bay, man.
Yeah, it's definitely tongue-in-cheek because they haven't sucked for a long time, and they certainly don't suck when they come to Soldier Field. But it's still a fun chant to always yell when you go through the tunnel at Soldier Field. It's one of the best part of the Soldier Field experience when you go to the game. There's a couple tunnels leading up to the stadium on the south side of the stadium and the chants are always loud and proud when you're coming through. Green Bay sucks all day long.
Yeah.
So we are wrapping this show up, Will. It's been a long show. We've hit the 2.5 hour mark. I do want to share one more cool video. You saw the drum line at the beginning, and one group.
Before that, like, I remember one of my first dates. I dated a Polish girl, and we went to a Bears game back in the 90s, and I heard that chant. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, well, that's called tradition, baby.
I have my hair, you know.
Another part of the Chicago sports tradition is when you're leaving a game, whether it's the Bulls, who are on right now, or the Bears, or the Cubs or the White Sox, you might run into these guys, the Bucket Boys, who are always killing it. Check this out.
Oh yeah.
Pretty impressive stuff.
And you know he's switching sticks. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He's switching sticks while he's doing it.
He's quick. He's quick. And yes, the guy in the wheelchair was wearing a Mitch Trubisky shirt, so no hate. No hate. These guys are supremely talented. You saw the drum line to start the show. Bucket Boys here to end, and you gotta respect their talents, man. You know, these guys, they certainly get buckets. And you know, I got a few questions from Twitter when I posted this, and Chubbs is also asking, leaving them some money. I gave them $20, but I'm not one of those people that
each, right? You gave $20 each.
I did 10 each. All right, that's what I had.
Well, you were one cheap mother. Come on.
Listen here. Come on.
20
now.
each, bro. Come on.
There was 2 buckets. I put 10 in each. That's all I had in my wallet, for one, and 2. You know, I don't videotape my charitable efforts. Like if I'm gonna give money to somebody,
well, you were asking me to screenshot my donation to your walk cost.
That's to enter into a raffle, totally different. But I'm not one of those people that's like, hey, film me while I put $10 or $20 in these guys' buckets. That's a little in poor taste. But they did get. I don't have somebody do a tape, you know, a film there, and then put it on my show, and then I don't reward them for their efforts.
Hey, Bryce, did you get my message or not?
I don't know if I got your message. Yeah. Oh yeah, it did come in. Why?
All right. You see, I just want to show people I've been working out for years and years.
Oh my God! You gotta send me this shit. Look at this. My God, look at this. This is the stuff Will's sending me right now. Look at this.
No, because I want people to understand.
Text me these pictures, Will. My God.
I want people to understand that it doesn't. You know, not everybody looks perfect. Or maybe I look perfect in that perfect. Do I look perfect in that picture?
You look great. You look.
But I'm just saying, is like, you know, like don't be ashamed. You know, you work out for a long time. It's not like it's gonna be all there, but maybe is it all there?
You know, Chubbs.
Let people decide. Let people
Chubbs
decide.
Chubbs is the cynical one here asking. We document what we do on the walkathon because we're raising money. We're not only donating, but we're encouraging others to raise money. And we actually happen to raise like almost $250,000 in the last 2 years for underprivileged kids in the Chicagoland area. So I put my money where my mouth is, and no, I don't grandstand my charitable efforts.
Same here.
We do what we got to do to try to raise money, but I do plenty of charitable things behind the scenes that nobody knows about. Thank you very much. So don't question that. I definitely will take offense to that. So slow it down over there in the chat when it comes to that. But regardless, that was, the Bucket Boys were killing it. I might have to start the show next time with them because that's probably the coolest highlight of the day.
They're pretty cool, man. They're pretty cool.
And you see them
I actually want to meet them.
And the Bears games and everything else.
I'm going against the Ravens. I told you, right? Hopefully nothing happens with my work. I might have to travel.
I hate saying this because Heidi's going to be upset at me too. She's from Acapulco, and she's a huge Bears fan and a big supporter of what I do over here at Brags in the Stands. And unfortunately for the Bears-Ravens game, that's going to be the only home game I can't attend.
Oh my God!
Because I'm going to be in Connecticut for the Purdue Boilermakers basketball. They're playing North Carolina in a tournament in Connecticut.
You gotta be shitting. I mean, but if they're losing,
I'm not going to be at that game. I can't miss it. My good friend plays for the Purdue Boilermakers. He's a shooting guard, and it's his senior year. So I'm going to travel a few times to some games, and I'm not. Michael Jordan's North Carolina Tar Heels playing Purdue. I'm gonna go see it. I don't care what it takes. So I'm flying out to Connecticut. I'm gonna visit my guy, Draft Dr. Phil Filatoshin, out in Connecticut. He's a good friend of mine, and gonna hang out with him and eat some pizza in New Haven, Connecticut, which I hear is the best pizza in the world. Which and
really?
Us guys in Chicago, we think we have great thin crust and deep dish pizza, but apparently New Haven, Connecticut is the pizza capital of the world. So I'm interested to see if the hype lives up to it, because I've been hearing some pretty amazing.
Well, that New Haven, that's because that's where all the mobsters had their homes.
I mean,
You're talking about everybody in the families and the New York families. They all had like the mansions over there, and they're all the pizza joints.
That's right, Taco Grease. Sasha Stepanovich from Crown Point, Indiana, my alma mater, and Sasha, both of us born on the same day, November 29th, and I formed a good friendship with him over the last 10 years or so. I knew his teammate. I just went to a wedding for my good friend Nick. His little brother Andrew is kind of my connection to Sasha. They all played on the same basketball team since they were kids, and a lot of fun to watch them at Crown Point High School. And then he made his way to Purdue, so I continued to root for Sasha as he went to Purdue, and now they're in their senior year trying to win a national championship. Boiler up! We're going to be doing plenty of basketball.
You're telling me that I'm not even talking. That you're like.
This is what we do here at Brags in the Stands, and we're getting a lot of pushback on this pizza capital of the world in New Haven. Bill Herr and Kyle Lilly taking real offense to this, but this is what they claim. I've never been to New Haven, so I'm gonna give them an opportunity to prove it. I'm a big Rosati's and Aurelio's pizza fan, but
I haven't eaten pizza in years.
Yeah, we know. Like we just saw the picture.
Yeah,
okay, you haven't had a carb in 10 years. We get it. Taco Grease, Etwan Moore, pride of the region. We'll always rep the region here at Brags in the Stand. So this about wraps it up for tonight, Will. We'll have more shows here. I've been on for almost 3 hours now.
I just been here for like not even 45 minutes.
I know.
So I don't want to start. I just want to make sure, like, I want people to know that, it's been stressful in my household. My job just got rid of a lot of people, affecting a lot of families, So I just want to come in and say, you always have to show a good face and try to forget about your problems. And
yeah, man. I mean, hey, no pressure, dude. Don't overdo it. This podcasting world can get kind of crazy, and family first. Family first. We've developed a good bond here. Everybody,
for sure.
Between the Trae Tunes show and what we do here. but don't overdo yourself. Don't overextend yourself, and family always comes first. That's why I wanted to do my own show, Will, because I had done shows for other people in the past, and it takes a lot of commitment. And when you've got your own show, just like Trae's, you do it when it works for your schedule then, and that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and I feel bad,
for a family. So with that being said, I'm going to get back to my family and get back to my lovely wife. We're going to watch some movies or watch a TV show. Probably watch
It's almost 11. You got to go to bed, bro. We're
going to eat some dinner, watch some Vanderpump.
Eat dinner, man. It's 10 o'clock. Why would you eat dinner right now?
It's 8:30, and we're going to watch some Vanderpump Rules.
It's gonna be 9 o'clock, man.
Jenny loves Vanderpump Rules, and she got me into it. And Below Deck, we just finished Below Deck.
You know what? You know what you should watch? Access.
You know what I want to see is this Squid Game
No,
show.
watch Access. This is
what the fuck is Access?
A movie based on she was like a radio host. She lived in Germany before the war, and the Nazis used her as a propaganda against the States.
Okay. Well, I'll check it out. But we're watching Hell's Kitchen. I will. I'll watch it. But I'm interested in Hell's Kitchen, Vanderpump Rules. We got Below Deck. That's our shows we watch at the end of the night.
What would you do? What would you Access Sally.
All right. See, you didn't even know the whole freaking word.
No, Sally, because I know
name of the show.
No, because I know. No, that's not a show. It's a movie. Her Mitchell is a Mitchell Clover or something, So I knew, like, they knew her as Axie Sally.
John says that's a total lie. I'm not gonna check it out. I might check it out. I got limited time.
Access Sally, bro.
Access Sally. Okay.
It's in the middle, bro. You can learn something. Like, you can teach your kids something. Why are you gonna waste your time?
I thought he meant Taco Grease is on the same page as me. I thought you were talking about Access Hollywood.
Not Access Hollywood. Taco.
We gotta have
no Access
closed captioning for you. We gotta have subtitles
for real. Okay, that's how we're going to. All right.
But I appreciate you, Chubbs. Always be your favorite show. That means a lot to me. We're doing our thing.
Hold on. Nobody has watched Access Sally in the chat.
Nobody knows what you're talking about here. Okay.
Nobody has watched Access Sally.
We don't even really know what you're saying.
You guys call yourself Americans? This is a woman that was in trial for being a traitor.
Doesn't even make sense. Big Dollar Dave, Access Sally. Taco Grease is going to be your translator.
Yeah, Taco Grease is my translator. Okay?
Well, we need them. Come on next time so we can get a translator.
Yeah, I'm hiring.
Listen, all of white society over here hasn't heard of it. Okay.
Access Sally is a teacher that went to teach to Germany before the war.
Okay.
And she fell in love with a guy that was bro, like you have to open.
JDS wants you to spell this because is it Access?
Right.
Is it Access ACCESS or AXIS? Like
AXIS Sally.
Okay.
SALLY.
Okay. All right. See, Will.
And it's a tremendous movie, and you will understand about the German, how they will trick, and she used to broadcast. Man, this movie, I guarantee you, if you have a little bit of you want to learn about something, you will love it because it teaches you about how the Nazi used Americans living aboard. It was either you preach the Nazis or I want to kill.
My friend Kyle Lilly, who's in the chat, he just shared. Bill Hurst says he can understand you, so that's more power to you, Bill. But this is the movie
yes.
that you're talking about. It's called American Traitor.
Yes.
The Trial of Access Sally. So it's based on a true story. and it's about the Nazi regime. And so, all right, hey, that I like that kind of stuff, so I might check it out. So,
it's pretty cool, bro.
You got me halfway home. Now I might watch.
You know, the thing at the first time when you were watching it, I'm like, I want to kill that freaking. You know, she's a traitor. But you learn a lot, man. It's that's the thing about it. You know, ignorance drives the ignorant.
So there's a movie from that time period that I enjoy, based in that time period. Have you ever seen the Daniel Craig movie Defiance?
Oh, hell yeah. I watched that movie. Yeah, it's also based. I only watch movie based. Yes, yes, Defiance is the one, the Jewish crew.
Yeah, Defiance,
Yes.
where the Jewish people go hide in the woods and
Yes.
create their own
Yeah.
community
Yeah.
to hide from the Nazis and survive during World War II. And that's a really interesting movie. And,
Yes, I watched that
based
movie
on a
a couple
true
of times,
story.
actually.
So
It's a true story.
you might actually have me.
No, I like watching movies and true story type based movies.
I
You know,
might watch it, Chubbs. I didn't say I definitely will. It's one of those things when I get around to it. All right.
no,
So-
I mean it's a good movie. It's
Chubb says
historic.
he's gonna watch it, so you've got one in, and maybe I'll watch it if I find it. Where is it available to watch, Will?
Well, this is the thing though that I see about the thing that I learn about it is the power of social media.
Mhm.
You know, how can somebody influence somebody just by saying words, and people believe it, and they believe it's true. They're manipulating people. So that's why this type of movie teaches you to have your own opinion, no matter what. You know, they try to put you in a different stage of.
Is
of
it on
believing or something.
Netflix? Because Derek just wants you to say Netflix.
It's on Prime TV, Prime,
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah.
Okay.
Amazon
And you're right
Prime.
about propaganda. You know, you gotta you gotta always be careful about what you read when it pertains to
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you know.
No, we're all good
like,
people.
Like
at
the
end.
movie, another one from that time period or based in that time period, Enemy at the Gates. You know, the sniper movie based in that time with the Nazis.
Yeah.
And one of the big parts of that whole movie was how they propagandized his, you know, how he was like a hero to like build up the troops, you know. So, you know,
war is horrible, man. War is horrible, you know. War is horrible, you know, where you go.
Taco Grease is translating. He said Amazon Prime. So we got our translator in the chat.
I love Taco Grease.
It's streaming.
A lot of love for you,
Amazon
Amo.
Prime. You can watch it. The American Trader, the story of Access Sally. Make sure you watch it. So we've gone everywhere. We've talked about the Bears.
Access Sally is not her real name.
All right.
So you guys can discover her real
the
name.
whole movie, all right? Don't spoil the whole movie.
Yeah,
So we've covered the whole game. We talked Bears. We talked ABC 7 News. You know, agendas. We've talked Netflix and Amazon Prime movies, and we've talked.
And we should tell people to watch it.
And pessimists.
Yeah, they're calling me pessimist. I'm like, no. Oh, damn.
We've talked about it all.
Do you know who created the Catholic Church?
No, I don't.
It was Constantine, the emperor of Italy.
Okay.
And he said he wanted to make the Catholic Church not to believe in Christ like that, but if people want to believe in Christ, he wants the cardinals, the priests, and the whole order.
Mm-hmm.
He said they want them to manage the reign. So Catholic, man, like even though I'm a Catholic, I mean, it's a bunch of BS, bro.
Yes. Well, very interesting.
So
I'm
next
not a
time
religious guy. I don't go to church on Sundays. I go to the Church of Bears with my guy Don the Bear.
That guy right there lives around the corner of my sister's home.
Yeah, Don's a good friend of mine.
He lives in Plainfield.
Yeah,
Glenfield.
he's a good friend of mine, originally from the region. I actually work with his cousin, John Wachter. His name is Don Wachter, and he's a great, great guy. So I am Church of Bears. We covered Justin Fields' first ever start as a Chicago Bear coming out the tunnel, and it was a lot of fun here today. No, you're right, Chubbs. I cannot get out because Will not let me end this show, but I'm going to right now.
I'm okay, dude.
I am not going to start drinking. I want to start eating my dinner. So we're going to take off here, but we appreciate everybody coming on and hanging out here for 3-hour show now, and really enjoy everybody, in the chat with their thoughts, and appreciate everyone's support, including yours, Will. So we're going to wrap things up, and we'll talk here soon, Will.
Let me say goodbye to my people. You
give your final word, and then I'll put you backstage. So you better make it quick because I'm getting hungry.
To all my guys right there, sorry I've been out. I will be a little bit MIA. I'm not going to be in a lot of a Twitch or the Twitch channel a lot, I have a lot going on, but I love you. Give you my heart. You guys are awesome. So until next time.
All right, Will. That's a very beautiful way of ending your segment, and we appreciate you as always coming on. And I'm going to put you backstage, and we're going to wrap this baby up. Again, this is Brags in the Stands. You get one more week to donate to our Bernie's Book Bank giveaway. And if you do, you have a chance to win a signed Jimbo Covert, Dan Hampton, or Mike Ditka jersey. Here are the jerseys right here. All you have to do is go on Twitter, find the tweet where I'm promoting the giveaway, and screenshot your donation to Bernie's to the tweet itself, and you just go to berniesbookbank.com and just find here. I'll pull up the berniesbookbank.org/Unity Walk, and you can win one of these awesome signed Hall of Fame Chicago Bears jerseys. One more week, and then we're going to officially announce the giveaway next week, when I'm hoping to have two special guests, Darren Utenek, from CEO of Bernie's Book Bank, and our guy, David Kaplan, who was also on the walk, 24 miles, the Unity Walk they've put together now 2 years in a row, that they were gracious enough to allow me to be involved in, which meant a lot to me because it was for a great cause. So again, appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. This is Brags in the Stands. We'll see you later in the week for a Week 5 breakdown and preview with my guy Johnny B and whoever else wants to join into the craziness that is Brags in the Stands. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and always bear down.